Good morning po sa ating lahat, teachers of Talaingod District. And welcome to our Day 2 of Talaingod District ECO on Division Training of Trainers on Learning Management System. And this time, we are walking through the most essential learning competencies in different learning areas. At ito po ay isang napaka-importanting diskusyon sapagkat ang mga most essential learning competencies po, dito natin ia-anchor ang lahat ng mga gagamitin in the new normal situation in the basic education, mapa-online man o offline. Lahat po ng ating mga learning materials na gagamitin ng ating mga learners ay dito po nanggagaling sa ating mga most essential learning competencies. Kumusta po kayo? I hope that tayo po ay puno ng energy upang mas maintindihan natin ang mga tatalakayin sa araw na ito. But before we proceed to our formal discussion this morning, allow me to announce that we have another attendance link for our morning session. So wag nang magpatumpik-tumpik pa. I-screenshot or kunan nyo na ng pictures para hindi natin makalimutan, and later in the middle of our session, we will announce kung available na ang ating attendance. Ulitin ko, huwag nang magpatumpik-tumpik pa, i-screenshot or kunan nyo na ng picture para hindi na natin makalimutan, and later in the middle of our session, we will announce kung available na ang ating attendance. Ngayon naman po ay ipipresent natin ang ating attendance dashboard sa unang araw ng ating webinar. Naalala niyo po na ang mga technical working group is closely monitoring our attendance. So that is why until 5th day, ipopost natin ang ating attendance dashboard. Okay, nandito na po ang link ng ating attendance. Kunan nyo na ng picture at screenshot nyo na para hindi na makalimutan. Okay, so bago natin ipa-flash ang ating attendance dashboard is meron tayong okay. From Ma'am Annalyn Labrador Godilusaw, good morning po. So good morning, Ma'am. Okay, from Queenie Soyko, good morning Talaingod, watching po from Dato Jose A. Libayo Memorial National High School. Good morning po, Ma'am Queenie Soyko. And from Ma'am Sheena Ermac, good morning po sa lahat ng ating mga magiting na mga guro. Watching po from Dato Jose A. Libayo Memorial National High School, Basta Talaingod, Hawod. At from Ma'am Rosana Canillo, good morning po from Paiton Integrated School. At nais ko ding batiin ang ating PSDS na si Sir Justiniano Cubar. Sir, good morning po. At sa mga principals at school heads ng Talaingod District, good morning po sa inyo, Ma'am, Sir. At from Mamia Amanda, good morning po. From Maricel Domanhog Undoy, good morning sa lahat. At from Ma'am Sally Epifanio, good morning po. So good morning, Ma'am Sally. Good morning po sa among pinakagwapong school head sa Paiton Integrated School, Waylain kung dili, si Sir Dexter Soriano. Greetings coming from Sir Adong Guliban, Sir Cheruel Guliban. From Ma'am Adelami Anuber Kalisagan, good morning everyone watching from the Guhoy Elementary School. Have a blessed day ahead. From Ma'am Juvie Jane Paalisbo, good morning everyone watching from Cuyas Elementary School. I guess ready na po ang ating attendance dashboard. Controller? Kaya habang nagpe-prepare ang ating controller para sa attendance dashboard, magpapatuloy tayo sa ating greetings. Greetings coming from Sir J. Lord Marsamolo. Good morning po, sir. From Malapanit Primary School. Okay, so good morning po. Shout out to our supportive and very active school head, Sir Junmar Bilaab from Nasilaban IS Teachers. Okay, Sir Junmar Bilaab. Good morning, sir. And bago ko makalimutan, kung sino pa po ang hindi nakasubscribe ng ating YouTube channel, ay wag kalimutang isubscribe ang Talaingod District. And of course, kung sino man po ang gustong mag-post ng kanilang pictures regarding sa ating webinar is wag kalimutang include ang ating official hashtag Echo on DTOTLMS and hashtag Basta Talaingod Hawod. Ulitin ko, sa mga gustong mag-post ng kanilang pictures regarding in our seminar or webinar, huwag kalimutang i-include ang ating hashtag Echo on DTOTLMS and hashtag Basta Talaingod Hawod. At kung meron din po kayo mga katanungan sa mga i-discuss ngayong araw na ito is huwag kalimutan or huwag mahiyang mag-post sa ating comment section and later on, we will entertain your question together with our PSDS Sir Hostiniano Cubar. Okay, meron din tayong Facebook page. Huwag kalimutang mag-like at mag-follow sa ating Facebook page. And greetings coming from Sir Leo Malinday Ligaspi. Good AM from Kilometer 31 Primary School. Sir, good morning. From Ma'am Karen May Punsalan, good morning everyone watching from Dato Jose A. Libayaw Memorial National High School. And also from Ma'am Zen Suay Bagyo Ramos, good morning everyone from Dato Jose A. Libayaw. Also from Sir Edmond Palmes, good morning po, watching from Cuyas Elementary School. God bless to us. Basta Talaingod, Hawod. Good morning, Sir Edmond Palmes. Okay, ulitin ko po, ang sino po, ang gusto, kung may mga katanungan po kayo, ay wag mahiyang mag-post sa ating comment section. And later on, we will entertain your questions and queries together with our Public Schools District Supervisor, Sir Hostiniano Cubar. And of course, ready na po ang ating attendance dashboard. Okay, controller. Okay, so ito po ang mga responses. At we have 269 teachers na nakatala sa ating day 1 morning session. We have 71% po ay from elementary and 21.9% is for junior high school. So kung nakikita po natin sa ating screen, ay mas marami ang nakapagtala sa elementary or elementary school teachers. And of course, ito naman po ang mga responses ng mga teachers from afternoon session. We have also 71% po, still nangunguna pa rin ang elementary teachers. 71% and 22%, by 22.7% naman po para sa junior high school. Of course, dahil mas marami po ang elementary teachers ng Talaingod compare sa mga junior high school teachers at senior high school teachers. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, let us give respect to our motherland by singing of nationalistic song and okay, let's give respect to our motherland by singing of nationalistic song and to give respect to our Almighty God through opening prayer and to be followed by Davao del Norte hymn. And for us to energize and invite the good vibes, let's have also a Zumba.
Ang bayan kong Pilipinas, lupain ng ginto't bulaklak, pag-ibig na sa kanyang palad, nag-alay ng ganda't dilag, at sa kanyang yumi at ganda, dayuhan ay nahalina. Bayan ko, binihag ka, nasadlak sa dusa. Ibon mang may layang lumipad, kulungin mo at umiiyak. Bayan pa kayang sakdal dilag, ang di magnasang makaalpas. Pilipinas kong minumutya, pugad ng luha at kalita, aking adhika, makita kang sakdal laya. May layang lumipad, kulungin mo at umiiyak. Bayan pa kayang sakdal dilag, ang di magnasang makaalpas. Pilipinas kong minumutya, pugad ng luha at dalita, aking adhika, makita kang sakdal laya. Sagana sa mga kalikasan, magagandang kabukiran. Pagsasaka, negosyo, pagbibilang, ang aming pangkabuhayan. Mamamaya'y maligaya sa dakilang lalawigan. Gobyerno, pribado, seryoso, nagkakaisa sa paglutas ng problema. Mga tao'y laging nagtutulungan, nangungunlad ang aming bayan. Kapayapaan ang aming lipunan, ang siyang hangarin ng lahat. Mamamaya'y maligaya sa dakilang lalawigan. Dahil sa biyaya ng magandang kalikasan, kami nagkakaisa na dumakila ang bansa. Lakas ng aming buhay sa bayan ay bibigay. Manatiling maglilingkod, magpahanggang sa libingan. Dahil sa biyaya ng magandang kalikasan, kami nagkakaisa na dumakila ang bansa. Lakas ng aming buhay sa bayan ay bibigay. Manatiling maglilingkod, labanan norte,
Once again, good morning and welcome to Talaingod District Eco on Division Training of Trainers on Learning Management System. At bago ko po makalimutan, aside from the attendance dashboard na i-present kanina is later on, we will also show on screen the list of all attendees both morning and afternoon during the day 1 on District Eco Division Training of Trainers on Learning Management System. Ulitin ko po, later on, we will post on screen the list of the attendees during the webinar on day 1. So moving on at this moment, let's have a recapitulations of yesterday's salient point by the teacher of Dato Jose A. Libayao Memorial National High School, Natulinan Extension, no less than Ma'am Jenny Romong. Okay, again, may I invite on screen the teacher of Dato Jose Elibayao Memorial National High School, Natulinan Extension, to give us the recapitulations of yesterday's salient point, no less than Ma'am Jenny Romong. While waiting po kay Ma'am Jenny Romo, we have here the greetings coming from my friend, Ma'am Aubrey Dumatol, or Ma'am Aubrey David Dumatol. Good morning, everyone watching from Napisulan Elementary School, together with our gorgeous school head, Ma'am Juvic Saging. Good morning, Ma'am Juvic and Ma'am Aubrey David Dumaton. Also, I would like also to greet our very beautiful and energetic and, of course, brilliant school head of the Guhoy National High School, Ma'am Christine Paulican. Ma'am Christine, and to the rest of the teachers of the Guhoy National High School, good morning to all of you. And greetings from Ma'am Anastasia Martinez. Good morning po. Watching from Santo Niño Central Elementary School. And from another greetings coming from Ma'am Jonavel LPT. Good morning everyone watching from Banaog Elementary School. From Ma'am Shina Ermac, good morning po sa lahat ng ating mga magigiting na guro. Watching from Dato Jose A. Libayaw Memorial National High School, hashtag Basta Talaingod, Hawod. Okay, from Ma'am Adela May Anyover Kalisagan, good morning everyone watching from the Guhoy Elementary School. Have a blessed day ahead. From Ma'am Ruchin Akaw, good morning everyone. Good morning Ma'am Ruchin. And from Ma'am Obing Bong, good morning everyone from Lumabag Integrated School. From Ma'am Jonna Onana, good morning everyone from Kilometer 31 Primary School. I guess already we have already on screen Ma'am Jenny Romo to give us recapitulations of yesterday's salient point. Controller. Okay, while waiting, we have greetings coming from Ma'am Ruthel Mantiquilla. Hello, Ma'am, my friend. Good morning. From Ma'am Rosel Cano. Good morning, everyone from Cunaog Babies, Cuyas, and Banaog Elementary School. From Ma'am Joanne Sardoncillo. Hi po, good morning sa tanan. Hi to my co-teachers of Banaog Elementary School. Our school head, Ma'am Jeanette Pinyapel, watching here all the way from Carmen. Oy, ang layo ni Ma'am from Carmen. Okay, from Marge Nanggan. Hello, Ma'am Marge Nanggan. Good morning, Talaingod teachers. Watching from Banaog Elementary School. From Ma'am Jeanette Pinyapel. Hello, Banaog Elementary School teachers. Controller, I guess we have already the teacher or Ma'am Jenny Romo to give us a recapitulations on yesterday's salient point. Okay, from Ma'am Marjorie Orosio, good morning everyone. Watching from Milyong Elementary School, salute to the TWS. Thank you so much, Ma'am Marjorie Orosio. Okay, while waiting, from Ma'am Lorna Humaran, good morning everyone. Watching from Kamingawan Elementary School. Okay, I guess wala pa po si Ma'am Jenny Romo from Dato Jose A. Libayo Memorial National High School, Natulinan Extension. So let's proceed. So, okay, and now the most awaited moment, the discussion of the most essential learning competencies or the MELCs. But before the speakers will discuss about the MELCs, we are Okay, in this morning, we have different speakers coming from the Region 11 to discuss the most essential learning competencies in different learning areas. Again, this morning we will have a lot of speakers to discuss about the most essential learning competencies in different learning areas. Okay. Okay, before we continue, we have a greetings coming from Ma'am Ana May Kaljao Villamor. Good morning po, watching from Sambulungan Extension. Of course, we have here from Sir Renzo Cortez. Good morning, watching from Daguhoy National High School. Hello, Sir Renzo. From Ma'am Christy Lumongtad. Good morning, fellow teachers. Good morning, ma'am. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, and now the most awaited moment, the discussion of the most essential learning competencies or MELCs. But before the speakers will discuss about the MELCs, we are requesting you to get your ballpoint and papers to take note all the important information. And now let us have the first presentation this morning, the rationale and overview of the most essential learning competencies to be discussed by the CLMD Chief of DepEd Region 11, no less than Dr. Janet Veloso.
Yes, good morning everyone. Good morning sa ating lahat, particularly to all our schools division superintendent, assistant superintendent, and also to our chief of the curriculum implementation division and all the education program supervisors and public school district supervisors, and also to our teachers, both from or starting from the elementary, our junior high school and senior high school. We are very happy to share with you as to our most essential learning competencies. So my presentation today is actually um, a bit comprehensive. Now, for all you know, DepEd Region 11 during this global pandemic is revolutionary as it remains forward thinking in carrying out its mandates under the framework of Sulong Edukalidad. It continues to navigate diversified interventions and strategies to sustain delivery of quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating basic education. Thus, I teach of the region as a comprehensive led learning continuity plan is hopeful for that, and you will know what is it. Now, the presentation outline in today's journey about the most essential learning competencies, we are going to have a glimpse on the region's context, leading to our support or our commitment for the K to 12 most essential learning competencies. Second, as to our framework of the region, as to our learning continuity plan. And another is for us to look into deeper, and this will be the respective learning area experts on K to 12 most essential learning competencies. And the last is where we are heading, our way forward. Now, before the COVID-19 pandemic has come into picture, if we look at Davao region, each year we are baffled by many disasters, and these have a major impact on learners and education systems. Be it in a smaller or bigger scale, learners are generally out of school for some period of time due to disasters. That the impact on the education to learners, all of these existing challenges have damaged certain damage to education infrastructure. Not only that, often live many children in need of critical education support, and I'm talking about learners with special needs. They are left helpless in ensuring their long-term or longer-term development. And so, now that we are in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic, which poses challenges to all various sectors in not only that, and DepEd is one that has to really change its landscape of operation in order to become viable in this trying time. And so we are very thankful for DepEd Region 11 to make it responsive that in this global pandemic, we have our ITITs, integrating technology, academic community, and the household, ensuring that every learner in DepEd Region 11 is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. And not only that, DepEd Region 11, as it integrates technology, academic community, and households, and guided by the DepEd's vision, mission, and core values, pushes its 12 goals under the Learning Continuity Plan. And this is ensuring learning continuity through the K-12 basic education curriculum, adjustments, alignment, learning materials, deployment of multiple learning delivery modalities, provision of corresponding training to teachers and school leaders, and proper orientation of parents or to our community leaders. We embedded all this as mechanism in our learning continuity plan. And that, if we look at DepEd Region 11's learning continuity plan, we have one, determine the context of the learner and their families. Second, develop and established a contextualized hybrid learning management system, and that is our learning management system where every school, every division, and every learner or every household will have. Enhanced preparation of learners in meeting the K-12 basic education program standards and competencies under the most essential learning competencies. And fourth, map out all materials necessary for the delivery of the lessons vis-a-vis the milks. And fifth, develop self-learning materials that are aligned with the milks. And sixth, facilitate conversion of self-learning materials or our self-learning modules into ebook, or interactive video lessons, radio scripts, and TV-based scripts or episodes ready for the different modalities. And next to that, we have to utilize our ICT in the management, communication, accreditation, and supervision of private schools and delivery of support and resources in all offices. Provide necessary retooling and upskilling strategies to all personnel in all governance. And I'm talking to this that not only in the school level, but also in the division and in the region, that we are going to provide or capacitate our key personnel. Ninth, orient parents and learners on the different modalities and learning uh, on significant and especially on their significant role as parents or being facilitators of learning. Strengthen partnership of key players to ensure delivery of all learning modalities in schools and collaboration in all governance. 11th, protect the well-being of the learners, our teaching and non-teaching personnel, and education leaders by ensuring a safe and conducive learning and working spaces or environment. And finally, we need still to celebrate success and also reward our key players and partners for the effort under the framework or for the delivery of quality service for sulong edukalidad. And we capture all this in our framework of the ITH. And I'd like to each one to look into the the effort of the region that is now we are doing the upskilling of teachers. And on the aspect or in the aspect of capacity building to teachers and school leaders, the region has to ensure that all teachers are not only strengthened to become resilient, adaptable, or able to manage resource and technology literacy or technological literacy, but most specifically on the main concern on the delivery of the K-12 basic education. And that it is therefore the primary goal of the region to orient you teachers and our education leaders on the most essential learning competencies and able to let you or appreciate the milks as we are now, if we look at our calendar, we are in a shortened period because barely each quarter we are going to have 8 weeks. So with that, we are ensuring that the most essential learning competencies are delivered to our respective clientele and our learners. And under that, imbibed with the philosophy and principles as well as the pillars of sulong edukalidad, it is hoped that teachers will be able to respond. And it is you, our trainers now, who is going to set that one into motion to the goals of the K-12 basic education program. And if we look at our K-12 most essential learning competencies, we have as our overarching, or shall we say, impression that the MILKS is not a new curriculum. It is not a departure from the K-12 curriculum. And that the standards in terms of the content and performance standards are retained, and that our MILKS are focused on the attainment of 21st century skills. The codes and tagged materials are retained for the merged and retained competencies. And that all learning areas will still be taught, and that the milks are aligned with the Sulong Educaridad framework. Another thing that we should know, that if we look at the desirable learning competencies, and so with the essential learning competencies, the DLCs or the desirable learning competencies are those that what may enhance education but may not be necessary in building foundational skills. And that the essential one are those that our students need. And these are indispensable. And that in terms of, if we look at the teaching learning process, this equip learners for subsequent grade levels, or consequently for building the skills in subsequent grade levels or for lifelong learning. And so this is how, or these are the things that our DepEd Central Office and our field offices look at it. Now, for the characteristics of essential learning competencies, these are the things that we should know, that it is aligned with the national and state and local standards, and that it connects the content to higher concepts across content areas. It is applicable to real life situations, and that in general, these are important as it is very essential, not only for our learners, but also it has something to do with the real learning in the community or in the real world. It is underscored specifically that we are looking at it, that if we talk about the most essential learning competencies, these are enduring competencies. And that if we look at endurance, this gives us a view that a learning competency is considered enduring, because this is one aspect that really put premium, that if it is enduring, it remains with the learners long after a test or unit of study is completed, or if it is useful beyond a single test or unit study. That's how we look at it. So, in the consideration uh, of the most essential learning competencies, this is one great aspect that we look at. And that later, when the different learning areas will be sharing to you or with you all the unpacking, or shall we say, all the milks from kindergarten to the different learning areas, you will get to know better from the K to 12 curriculum guides that we have, and then the essential learning competencies, and then later to the most essential learning competencies. And you will appreciate on that, on how the process was being or the process of identifying the milks. It's not just identifying it because we just consider it in that way, but it goes with the process. And so the different learning area supervisors will walk through on with you on that, and so you will appreciate on the effort of our experts, and specifically the entire strand of the office of the curriculum or undersecretary for curriculum and instruction, particularly our Bureau of Curriculum and Development, that it has, or that they, everybody has really considered all or many things from the review of the curriculum guide, and then move to the consideration of the essential learning competencies to the most essential learning competencies. Next, from the learning competencies before, from I believe a total of more than 10,000 learning competencies, and it is now reduced to more than 4,000 competencies. So the process is not just easy. And so these are the things that we have considered. And then next to that, we have the mapping of the essential and desirable competencies that were mentioned a while back, and then the identifying of the prerequisite knowledge and skills within the learning area or the different learning area, and then it passes also analysis of interconnectedness of prerequisite knowledge and skills among learning competencies across learning areas. And then, yes, I have dwelled on this as to the essential learning competencies to milks. And so it's fitting that we need to know more about this through the walkthrough that you will be having, and that the consideration that the most determining factor na talagang tandaan natin is that we have the endurance, no, as the determining factor, that once that certain competency remains with the learner long after a test of a unit or unit of study is completed, and if this competency is useful beyond a single test or unit of study, then that is considered for the most essential learning competency. And that another thing that we need to be aware of, that while it's true that they go with the process of mapping the competency, identifying the prerequisite or analysis, but more so that they considered that there are those that they have retained, there are competencies that have been merged, and there are those that have been rephrased, and there are those that have been dropped. So that's how the process is what we consider tedious and daunting task. And so finally, for our region, we map out the available learning competencies. Because of that, because this is how we populate the given most essential learning competencies with all the identified or the existing available resource that we have, because we want the teacher now to really know what are the things or what are these learning resource available in your respective divisions, available in your respective schools that are already quality assured, and even those that are for quality assurance process but are closely and can be used in the delivery of the most essential learning competencies. We are doing such because these are data and these are vital information for you teachers to be able to make sure that you have ample available learning resource once you are going and once we open the school year 2020-2021. And finally, as our way forward, we hope that each one will continue, especially our writers and developers of the self-learning modules, for the quality assurance of the learning modules, and the establishment of monitoring and evaluation of the online training model. And this is the one that we are talking about, our training, because we do not want that all of us will just be listening to the training or webinars, but more so that we are going to make sure that all the things that we are heading for are really delivered well. And not only that, we are equipped for the school year 2020-2021. And we would like each of you now to catch sight of our collaboration, the collaboration of all offices in all governance, starting from schools, your schools division offices, and the region, and so with the central office, because we believe now that we journey together, not only learning together of the kind of environment that we have now, and we come together as we open for the school year 2021 for the delivery of quality basic education and ensuring that each learner is safe and protected while they continue their education in this new normal. God bless everyone.
There you have it, Dr. Janet Veloso, the CLMD Chief of DepEd Region 11. Again, to all our teacher participants right now, please do not hesitate to type your comment and questions on our comment section because later on, we will entertain your questions and queries during our district open forum. Ayan, sana po may natutunan tayo sa rationale and overview of the most essential learning competencies na tinalakay ni Dr. Janet Veloso. And this time, let us move on to a more detailed presentation as we are about to walk through the most essential learning competencies by learning areas. And even if the learning area that is presenting its marks is not where you belong, we highly request all the participants to still watch and listen attentively to the discussion because one way or another, whatever that we ourselves to be knowledgeable about will be a great help for us in the future. So without further ado, to give us the walkthrough on the most essential learning competencies in the kindergarten areas, joining us for the day to present the most essential learning competencies for the kindergarten is the DepEd Region 11 Education Program Supervisor and LRMS Manager, no less than Dr. Annalisa C. Almasan. And the attendance link is officially open. Okay, let's proceed to Dr. Annalisa C. Almazan.
Education Offices, of course, with the Assistant Schools Division Superintendents, the CID Chiefs, to all the Education Program Supervisors in CLMB and in CID, and of course, my dearest kindergarten education program supervisors and teachers. Today, we are going to have the walkthrough of the most essential learning competencies for kindergarten. So, in the light of the COVID-19 and the consequent shortened academic year, the Department of Education, through the Bureau of Curriculum Development, Curriculum Standards Development Division, has produced a list of the most essential learning competencies, or what we call the MILCs. This was done in order to ensure that the grade level standards, along with the corresponding content and performance standards set for each learning area, are still attained. In the process of identifying the MELCs, the endurance criterion was used as the sole determiner, guided by the requirement that a learning competency be useful in lifelong learning. Further, the MELCs identified are those that work in close association with other competencies in other subjects, thus maintaining the curricular quality of integration. So this is the picture of the most essential learning competencies matrix. Of course, this is for K to 12 curriculum. So in here, we will be talking about the kindergarten most essential learning competencies. And as we see here, let's try to answer what is milk. So this is all about the most essential learning competency. So what is this? So this serves as a reference to assist the teachers in identifying the most important learning competencies to be developed, acquired by the learners, and must be prioritized in this situation. MELCs with asterisk are rephrased and deemed essential in learning competencies in the achievement of content and performance standards. So MELC is for school year 2020-2021 only. So meaning to say, this only intended for this school year, of which we will start on August and hopefully we will end on April 2021. So this is our example of the most essential learning competencies of kindergarten. So as you see here, so we have the quarter one or the week one. So we have here the content standards. Okay, for example, ang bata ay nagkakaroon ng pag-unawa sa sariling ugali at damdamin. So of course, the milk still has the performance standards. So we have here, ang bata ay nakapagpapamalas ng kakayahang kontrolin ang sariling damdamin at pag-uugali, gumawa ng desisyon at magtagumpay sa kanyang mga gawain. Okay, from these standards, we have the most essential learning competencies. So there are 5. So meaning to say, this is somewhat a subclass, sub-competencies. So we have here, there are 5. So nakikilala ang sarili, pangalan at apelyido, kasarian, gulang or kapanganakan, then gusto or di gusto, then use the proper expression in introducing oneself. So yung sub-competencies of this MELC, this is the most essential learning competencies, and like what we said, there is what we call embedded competencies. So along with this main MELC, we have this sub-competencies. They use the proper expression in introducing oneself. So we have a sample here. So I know that kindergarten teachers, they know a lot of this. So as we see, this is now what we're going to teach first. Okay, this one, the proper expression in introducing oneself. Then talk about one's personal experiences, narrate events of the day, then naipakikita ang tiwala sa sarili na tugunan ang sariling pangangailangan ng mag-isa. Kaya halimbawa dyan, maghugas ng kamay, kumain, magbihis, magligpit, tapusin ang gawaing nasimulan. Okay. So this is our example of the milk. So again, we have this what we call the milk, meaning the main milk, and we have what we call the subcompetencies. So as a general rule, learning competencies are retained if it satisfies the endurance criterion, which greatly contributes to lifelong learning and is a prerequisite skill to the next grade level. Some of the competencies are merged or clustered if they have the same objective or learning intention, thus can be combined into one comprehensive learning competency. Okay, we have also the case that learning competencies are dropped when if they are too specific and the articulation is similar to that of a learning objective, then deemed appropriate to be introduced in an early quarter or grade level or moved to a later quarter or grade level. Then sometimes they are recurring and subsumed in another learning area. And we have here a learning competencies. And of course, rephrased, this is to be more concise. Okay, this is our process of identifying the milks. So we have here the K to 12 curriculum guide. From there, we come up with the essential learning competencies and then the most essential learning competencies. So from the different learning competencies, there we go. We have now the list of the most essential learning competencies. So the K to 12 most essential learning competencies are not a departure from the K to 12 curriculum. Of course, the MELCs are still part of the K to 12 curriculum. Then, of course, there is standards, the content and performance standards. Then focus on the attainment of the 21st century skills. The codes and tagged materials are retained for merged and retained competencies. And all learning areas will still be taught. So if we're going to look into the current curriculum guide versus the MELCs, for kindergarten, we have current curriculum guide, we have 241. And right for the total MELCs that we have for four quarters, we have 66 MELCs. So as you see, there is 1% MELCs as compared to the total number of MELCs. Kasi yung total number that we have is 5,548. So kindergarten MELCs are 66 in number. So this is 1% of the total number of MELCs. So for the kindergarten teachers, you are going to deal 66 MELCs for one school year. Field implementers are encouraged to contextualize the most essential learning competencies in order to accommodate the varying contexts of learners, teachers, learning environment, and support structures, considering both the content and performance standards. So how to use the MELC? So we as kindergarten teachers, we should know how to use the MELC. So the Department of Education, through the Bureau of Curriculum Development, Curriculum Standards Development Division, has developed the most essential learning competencies to address the challenges brought about by the global pandemic. Its negative impact in the educational system, which include but not limited to the shortened school year, limited face-to-face interaction of teachers, of course, with our learners. So meaning to say, for this school year, we have really limited interaction face-to-face with our learners, and other instructional delivery related concerns pose serious problem, most specifically to early childhood learners. Okay, this is now the call for the kindergarten teachers, because it is really give us a problem because we're dealing early graders, young ones, meaning to say this is their first year supposedly in school, diba? Entering kindergarten. So thus, the MELCs ensure that all 5-year-old, so these are now our kindergarten learners, 5-year-old Filipino learners achieve the content and performance standards expected of them in various learning domains. So always remember our domains, developmental domains in kindergarten. So in the process of identifying the MELCs, the endurance criterion was used as the sole determiner. Endurance is defined as the learning competency that remains with learners long after a test is completed or is useful beyond a single test or unit of study. So finally, the MELCs identified under the 7 developmental domains. Okay, still remember our 7 developmental domains? Of course you do. Kindergarten teachers along with our education program supervisors in kindergarten. So these are the 7 developmental domains are those that work in close association with the circular themes from the kindergarten curriculum guide which will be used for each lesson and activity for the week. So how to use the milks? The milks identified in kindergarten may be taught repeatedly. Okay, take note. Okay, the milks identified in kindergarten may be taught repeatedly to help the learner acquire the necessary knowledge, skills, and values. So take note of this. The MELCs identified in kindergarten may be taught repeatedly. So this is to achieve mastery of the skills. Remember, we are developing the 7 domains. So the skills. So this will somehow help our learners acquire the necessary knowledge, skills, and values. It is also recommended that the teacher unpack the MELCs into more specific learning competencies or objectives using the kindergarten curriculum guide. So we're still going to have our kindergarten curriculum guide, our KCG. Then the teacher may add more sub-competencies depending on the need of the learners. So again, take note of this. It is also recommended that the teacher unpacks the MELCs into more specific learning competencies or objectives using the PCG. Then the teacher may add, okay, always because this can be our context. So the teacher may add more sub-competencies depending on the need of the learners. So meaning to say, in this part, we, the teachers of the kindergarten, are encouraged to contextualize or to contextualize the competencies based on the need of our learners. So if for one competency perhaps our learners cannot master yet a particular skill, then we can add more sub-competencies. Okay? So the MELCs identified in kindergarten, okay, yun, that is, we are going to, this is what we call taught repeatedly, right? So this is our now example. This is what I give a while back. So this is our example, MELCs for kindergarten. So quarter 1, week 1. So again, as you see, we have the content standards, we have the performance standards, and this column is for most essential learning competencies, and we have the sub-competencies. This is what has been emphasized a while back, that in this portion, we, the teachers, can add or may add sub-competencies or additional competencies depending on the need of the learners. So again, if the learners cannot master yet the skills, so that the teachers can add some competencies along with that most essential learning competencies. So we are going to look into our kindergarten curriculum guide. So you have the copy of the MELCs, And of course, always bring with you also the copy of your kindergarten curriculum guide so that you will be guided with the sub-competencies to go along with that MELCs. Okay, so this is a sample for the quarter 2, week 2. Okay, still, we have the content standards, we have the performance standards, we have the most essential learning competencies, and we have the sub-competencies. So if we're going to look into the what is that? The things listed, the MELs listed in the full package of the most essential learning competencies, we will we will find the MELs for kindergarten on these pages. So this is the first page in there, the kindergarten. So you have here, this is now really the picture of the contents of the MELs. So we have quarter 1 or the first quarter. And as you see, we have what we call the duration. So at most, we are guided when to have this particular MEL be taught to our learners because of this duration. So as you see, the duration is not given to us as day 1, day 2, day 3, 4, and 5, but it's given to us as a week. Okay, as a week. But as we teach this particular milk, always remember that we can add some sub competencies. So if this is the most essential learning competencies, then if we feel that our learners could not master right away the skill emphasized or the domain emphasized in this milk, then we can add sub competencies. So we have here, for example, yeah, we have this one, nakikilala ang sarili. This is what we have presented in our sample a while back. So this is the second milk for week 2. So for week 2, we will focus the themes on nasasabi ang mga sariling pangangailangan ng walang pag-aalinlangan at nakasusunod sa mga itinakdang tuntunin at gawain that those are the routines sa paaralan at silid-aralan. Okay? So ito yung tinitingnan natin. So we have here, it is all about disiplina, yung konsepto na ibigay natin dito. This is the disiplina. And for week 3 ng quarter 1, we will be talking about, we will let our learners demonstrate an understanding of letters. Ayan. So this is now week 3, sort and classify objects according to one attribute, property, that is about the shape, the color, size, function, and use. Okay, so this is now, so we have 3 weeks with 3 most essential learning competencies. So we have here also the week 4 of quarter 1. And as you see that, and then we are now introducing in week 4, we are now introducing the letter, number, or word that is different in group. So we have nais sa kikilos ang sariling kakayahan sa iba't ibang paraan, halimbawa sa pag-awit, pagsayaw, at iba pa. So that's for week 4. For week 5, we will focus on nakikilala ang mga pangunahing emosyon. So, tuwa, takot, galit, at lungkot. Then, tell which 2 letters, numbers, or words in a group are the same. So, that's for week 5. Then, of course, for week 6, recognize symmetry. Yan. We have week 7. This is about the function of each basic body part. Demonstrate movements using different body parts. Then week 8, name the 5 senses and their corresponding body parts. We have the week 9, identify one's basic needs and ways to care for one's body. Then week 10, practice ways to care for one's body. So as you see, for quarter 1, we have 10 weeks for quarter one to deal with the most essential learning competencies. Then for quarter two, so we have here quarter two, we have, okay, this is the week one, natutukoy na may pamilya ang bawat isa. For week two, natutukoy kung sino-sino ang bumubuo ng pamilya. Week 3, nailalarawan kung paano nagkakaiba at nagkakatulad ang bawat pamilya. Then week 4, this is all about pagmamahal sa mga kasapit ng pamilya. As you see, for quarter 2, we are going to talk about more about family. Okay? So, dito natin to bata, yung about sa pamilya. Yung concept nila about family. Dito yan sa quarter 2. Then, for week 5, name the places and the things found in the classroom, school, and community. Because our content standards here, the child demonstrates an understanding of acquiring new words, widening his or her vocabulary, links to her or his experiences. So in this part na, sa week 5, the child demonstrates an understanding of objects in the environment, then have properties or attributes. So this time, our learners will talk about the colors, the size, shapes, and functions, and that objects can be manipulated based on these properties and attributes. So go to week 6, give the names of family members, school personnel, and community helpers, and the roles they play or jobs they do or things that they used to. Okay, so those are the samples or those are the melts identified for quarters 1 and quarters 2. Then additional for quarters 2, we have the week 7. So we have week 7. We have here. We will talk about the polite greetings and courteous expressions in appropriate situations. Then week 8, talk about likes, dislikes, the foods, that those are the foods, the pets, toys, games, friends, and places. Then talk about family members, pets, toys, foods, or members of the community using various appropriate descriptive words. Okay, so repeatedly done. Di ba? As you notice, as we choose about the milks, so they are repeatedly presented in every quarter. Then week 9, tell and describe the different kinds of weather, that is the sunny, rainy, cloudy, stormy, windy. Then observe and record the weather daily as part of the opening routine. Okay. Then week 10, identify what we wear and use for each kind of weather. Yan. So this comprises quarter 2. So still we have 10 weeks in quarter 2. Okay. For part of the second quarter, okay, part of the second quarter is the tracing, activity on tracing, copying and writing the letters of the alphabet. Then straight lines, then combination of straight and slanting lines, then combination of straight and curved lines. Then we have rounded strokes with loops. Then write once, give a name. So we introduce now the letters according to how are they written, how they look, yung mga letters of the alphabet. Then for week 3, so dito sa week 3, the child demonstrates an understanding of concepts of size, length, weight, time, and money. So tell the names of the days in a week, month, and a year. So that's for week 1. Week 1 in quarter 3 or third quarter. So as you see, we With you, we will give you copies of the milks, but I guess that you already have copies of your milk. So I hope that you will be walking through with that milk. So you open that one because that would be the milks now would be our Bible. But along with that milk, of course, always also bring with you your curriculum guide. Okay. So with that, we have this. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. So this is what Benjamin Franklin tells us. Okay. And then another thing that we need to remember, children don't care what a teacher knows unless they know the teacher cares. Okay. We need to care our learners this time. Okay. More, we need to give more care on them because it's a different setup, different delivery of the modality, different delivery of the learning for this pandemic. So we need to care more about our learners. Then if a child can't learn the way we teach, maybe we should teach the way we learn. Okay? And with that,
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Annalisa C. Almasan, the Education Program Supervisor on Kindergarten of DepEd Region 11. I hope that all of our teacher participants teaching in kindergarten have taken all the important point and moving on to our next speaker to discuss the most essential learning And moving on to our next speaker to discuss the most essential learning competencies of multi-grade, the DepEd Region 11 Education Program Supervisor, Dr. George N. Wong.
Good day, everyone. Yours truly is the focal person of MT, MTB, MLE for today's regional training of trainers. In this time of threat, challenges, and uncertainties brought by about COVID-19, the directive of our dear Deputy Secretary Leonor Magtulis Briones is to ensure the health, safety, and welfare of the learners, teachers, and personnel of the department, while also finding ways for learning to continue. And it is strongly supported by our beloved Regional Director, Dr. Evelyn R. Pitalbero, and our CLM Chief, Dr. Janet G. Baloso. That is why we have the MELCs, or most essential learning competencies in all subject area. Process identifying the MALCs. So we have the framework here. We get it from the K-12 curriculum guide and identify the essential learning competencies and have to again select the most essential learning competencies. So with this pandemic crisis, we have to shorten our academic calendar for the year 2020-21 with the different delivery modes or model of instruction. MELs in mother tongue. What are the MELs in the mother tongue? The endurance criterion was used in process in the process of identifying the MELCs. Which learning competencies were considered enduring? If the learning competencies or LC is useful in lifelong learning. But be reminded, the field, we are encouraged to contextualize the most essential learning competencies in order to accommodate the varying context of learners, teachers, learning environment, and support structures, considering both the content and performance standard. With this, Filipino learners are guaranteed with relevant and quality basic education despite the current health crisis. Which learning competencies were considered endurance? Those that work in close association with other competencies in other subjects. Example, interprets a pictograph based on given legend. As we go on with our seminar or training, we have to consider the number of learning competencies in mother tongue. So we have here for grade 1, mother tongue curriculum guide, we have 768, and most essential learning competencies 71. For grade 2, we have 602 curriculum guide and MELCs 38. For grade 3, we have 368 and 26 MELCs. Total of 1,738 for curriculum guide and 135 MELCs. MELCs are considerably less than the original number of learning competencies in the curriculum because of two factors. A, we have recurrence is limited. For example, grade 1. Grade 1, the learning competencies for grade 1, we have participate actively during story reading by making comments and asking questions. Grade 2, if you observe, there's a recurrence here. Participate actively during story reading by making comments and asking questions in using complete sentences. MELCs are possibly be to merge and clustered. The learning competencies are merged and clustered. How did we come with MELCs in mother tongue? So we have the process, we retain, replace, merge, or clustered, and drop or discard. We have also to consider the grade level standards. For grade 1, the learner demonstrates basic communication skills in talking about the familiar topics using simple words and both verbal and non-verbal cues to understand them. Spoken language shows understanding of basic vocabulary and language structures, reading processes, writing system, and appreciates aspects of one's culture. For grade 2, the learner demonstrates communication skills in talking about variety of topics using developing vocabulary and simple phrases and sentences, simple to complex spoken language using both verbal and nonverbal cues, understands vocabulary and language structure, appreciates and understands the cultural aspect of the language and writing system use, and reads and writes system and short literary and informational texts. For grade 3, the learners demonstrates communication skills in talking about variety of topics using expanding vocabulary and phrases, shows understanding of language in different contexts using both verbal and nonverbal cues, vocabulary and language structures, cultural aspects of the language, reads and writes literary and informational texts. Grade level standards are maintained through the chosen MELCs, as we have discussed a while ago. To use MELCs in mother tongue is another example. Subtask the MELCs. Grade level or quarter. So grade 2, just the first quarter, the MELCs is give the summary of the story. We have to subdivide it in sub competencies or subtopics. Give the main idea of the story poem or poem. And another sub competencies, we have give the correct sequence of 3 to 5 events in the story. And the last one, we have note important details in grade level narrative text, a character, B, setting, C, plot, problem or solution. 3 is reteach the melts as needed. So the sense that the learners did not fully reach your objective, then teacher must reteach the said melts. 4, we have to plan. Decide on the duration of melts depending on the needs of the learner. So it's high time for the teachers, the principals, and of course supervisors to revisit the classroom for this purpose. So with that, I give you the word of Nelson Mandela. It always seems impossible until it's done. Thank you. Maraming salamat po. Stay safe and God bless.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. George Wong, the Education Program Supervisor for Multi-Grade of DepEd Region 11. Okay pa po ba tayo? I hope we are still tuning in on the Talaingod District Echo on training of trainers on learning management system. So before we proceed po to our next speaker, so shout out muna tayo. So may nag-chat sa akin na friend ko from Ma'am Maricel M. Daling. Good morning everyone watching from Misulong Integrated School. Together with my co-teachers and energetic principal, Sir Bren Chrisman Kulita. So good morning Ma'am Daling. Another greetings coming from Ma'am Grace Hain. Okay? And Ma'am Shailene G. Solmeron. Okay, good morning. They are still watching. And of course, from Ma'am Juvik Saging, best morning quote to us teachers. A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stopped. By Henry Adams. Such a very nice quote, Ma'am Juvik. From Ma'am Meralyn Lianto, good morning Talaingod, watching from Kabadyangan Integrated School. Okay, some more greetings. From Ma'am Sopimi Bacos, Good morning, everyone watching from Santo Niño Central Elementary School, Talaingod. Good morning, ma'am. Okay, good morning, ma'am. So, and another greetings coming from Ma'am Janet Lopez. Still watching? Thank you po, sir. And okay, so let's proceed. Ah, don't forget to if you want to if you want to post a picture regarding in our webinar, don't forget to include our official hashtag, hashtag Echo on DTOTLMS and hashtag Basta Talaingod Hawod. Again, hashtag Echo on DTOTLMS and hashtag Basta Talaingod Hawod. Okay, moving on to our next speaker to lead us to another most essential learning competencies in Filipino. We have the CLMD Education Program Supervisor of DepEd Region 11. No less than ang pinakabatikan sa asignaturang Filipino, Dr. Mary Jane M. Mejorada.
Isang mapagpalang araw sa lahat. Aking pagpupugay sa ating panrehiyong direktor, Dr. Evelyn Fetalvero, CESO4, ang ating Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Maria Ines Asuncion, CESO5, sa Hepe ng Curriculum and Learning Management Division, Dr. Janet G. Veloso, sa mga tagapamanihalang pansangay, ang mga Hepe ng Curriculum and Implementation Division, mga tagamasidpan sangay ng 11 dibisyon, kasama ang buong kaguruan ng Filipino, sa lahat ng nanunood at nakikinig, ang aking pagsaludo sa inyong presensya ngayon. Dumako naman tayo sa asignaturang Filipino. Ang oryentasyon sa paggamit ng pinakamahalagang kasanayang pampagkatuto o MELCS. Unahin natin ang kaligiran ng pagkakabuo ng ELCS2 MELCS. Bago pa man ang pandemya, ang Bureau of Curriculum and Learning, ang Bureau of Curriculum Division ay nagkaroon ng inisyatibo sa pagtukoy ng mga mahalagang kasanayang pampagkatuto sa pagtutulungan ng ating Bureau Specialist, academic experts at field implementors na pagkasunduan ang panuntunan na gagamiting mekanismo upang mapagtibay ang pagtukoy ng mga kasanayang pampagkatuto. Sa pagtuturo ng Filipino, ang gabay natin ay ang konseptual na balangkas sa K-12. Tunguhin, nilalaman ng konseptual na balangkas ng Filipino curriculum na makalinang ng isang buo at ganap na Pilipinong may kapaki-pakinabang na literasi. Lilinangin ang kakayahang komunikatibo gamit ang 5 makrong kasanayan, reflektibo at may papanuring pag-iisip, pagpapahalagang pampanitikan, pambansang pagkakakilanlan, kultural na literasi, patuloy na pagkatuto upang makaagapay sa mabilis na pagbabagong nagaganap sa daigdig, gamit ang mga lunsarang babasahin at teknolohiya. Magtatagumpay ito sa suporta ng kurikulum, ng guro, ng kagamitang pagtuturo, ng lipunan, pribado at pampubliko, media, tahanan, pamahalaang lokal at administratibo. Sa Filipino, ang kabuuang kasanayang pampagkatuto ay umabot ng 2,378. Bilang ng kasanayang pampagkatuto mula K-12 Curriculum Learning Competency mula 2,378 sa Essential Learning Competency ay nabawasan, naging 1,790 at sa Most Essential Learning Competencies ay naging 708 na po. Kaya ito ay umabot ng 29.77% ang pagbaba ng ating kasanayang pampagkatuto. Sa K-12 versus MELCS, pansinin natin ang talahanayang ito. Sa grade 1, ang 195 naging 48, grade 2, 284 to 37, grade 3, 272 to 55, grade 4, 343 to 102, grade 5, 312 to 57, grade 6, 274 to 51, grade 7, 169 to 47, grade 8, 152 to 73, grade 9, 179 to 103, at grade 10, 198, bumaba ng 135. Kaya from 2,378 naging 708. At ito po ang sa katabi po dito na talahanayan ang curriculum guide breakdown per quarter. Ito sa K-12, ito naman ang bago ngayon sa MELCS. Alamin natin ang proseso sa pagpili at pagbuo ng MELC. Ito ay nabuo sa Endurance ni Reeves 2002 at ni Manny and Horrell noong 2014. Ito po ang pinagbatayan, ang pananaliksik, pagbasa, pagsulat, pagbasa ng mapa at hypothesis testing. Ang isang kasanayang pampagkatuto, ang learning competency o kasanayang pampagkatuto ay nagiging enduring o magtatagal ika nga if it remains with any learners long after a test or unit of study is completed, or if it is useful beyond a single test or unit of study. Magtatagal siya kapag nagagamit sa totoong buhay, sa letter A. At letter B naman, kung lubhang kailangan upang matutunan ang iba pang asignatura. Halimbawa nito na ibabahagi ang isang pangyayaring nasaksihan o naobserbahan. So nagagamit sa totoong buhay. Letter B, nakasusulat ng isang balangkas mula sa mga nakalap na impormasyon mula sa binasa. Lubhang kailangan. So isinalang-alang din ang pagsasakatuparan ng mga pabantayan sa bawat baitang. Ang mga kasanayang pampagkatuto ay dumaan sa 4 na proseso. May mga kasanayang pampagkatuto na pinanatili, may pinagsama, may tinanggal, at may inayos. Pinanatili kung umayon sa kriteriya at may malaking gampanin na makamit ang inaasahang malinang sa pagtamo ng kasanayan sa susunod na baitang. Pinagsama naman ang kasanayang pampagkatuto kung may pagkakatulad na layunin na pinagsama sa iisang komprehensibong kasanayang pampagkatuto. Tinanggal naman kung may tiyak na pag-uulit at pagkakatulad sa mga layunin na pinagsama na itinuturing na di paganap na ituro at linangin at mahirap na maisagawa ng lebel ng mga mag-aaral. At inayos naman kung tumpak na dapat linangin. Ito ang ilan sa mga halimbawa ng pagproseso ng MELC. Pinanatili kapag nahuhulaan ang susunod na mangyayari sa napakinggang kwento. Nasusuri kung opinyon o katotohanan ang pahayag. Ang lahat ito ay Filipino grade 1 at Filipino grade 4. So, pinanatili yan. Ito naman ay pinagsama o merge dahil ang bawat pahayag po ay magkapareho lamang ang patutunguhan, nagkaiba lamang sa talata at sa tula. So ang kabuuan ay ibibigay ang paksa ng talata at tula. Tinanggal naman kapag nakagagawa ng sariling maikling pelikula. Ito ay pangkatang gawain. So sa panahon natin ngayon, wala po tayong face-to-face, kaya imposible po na ito po ay magawa ng ating mga mag-aaral. So ito po ay tinanggal. Inayos naman ang tatlong ito na mga orihinal na kasanayang pampagkatuto dahil pareho lamang po ang patutunguhan na iuulat at naiuulat. Ang pagkakaiba lamang ay paaralan, silid-aralan at telebisyon. Ang kabuuan po na iuulat ng pasalita ang mga naobserbahang pangyayari sa paligid, bahay, komunidad, paaralan at sa mga napanood sa telebisyon, cellphone at computer. So yan po ay inayos at pinag-isa pareho po na kasanayang pampagkatuto sa grade 1. Sa case stage 1 o baitang 1 to 3, alamin natin ang pagkasunod-sunod ng spiral progression mula sa nauunawaan ng mga mag-aaral ang pasalita at di pasalitang paraan ng pagpapahayag, dumako sa ikalawang baitang, nasasabi ng mga mag-aaral ang pangunahing diwa. So yun na ang pangalawa, maayos na nakasusulat upang maipahayag at maiugnay ang sariling ideya, damdamin at karanasan. Sa ikatlong baitang, nakapagbibigay na ng kaugnay o katumbas na teksto. So ang tatlong ito po ang kinalabasan kung napansin ninyo sa K-12, 195 naging 48, 284 to 37, 272 to 55. Tama po kayo. Nung kami po ay nagkaroon ng pakighinabi, ito po ang natukoy na yung iba ay nagpaulit-ulit at pareho lang ang mga pagpapahayag. At ito po ang kinalabasan, breakdown ng bawat quarter sa case stage 1. Okay, sa unang baitang, ito po ang mga halimbawa. Nagkaroon po ng pinagsama o merge o clustered ang tatlong linangin sa mga kasanayang pampagkatuto na nakalista sa ELC. Kaya minabuting pagsamahin ang ito gamit ang iba't ibang uri ng tekstong inilahad sa ELC. So ito na po ang pinakamahalagang kasanayang pampagkatuto o MELCs na nabuo. Nasasagot ang mga tanong tungkol sa napakinggang pabula, tugma, tula at tekstong pang-impormasyon. So kung napansin ninyo, pinag-isama natin ang pabula, tugma at tekstong pang-impormasyon. Sa ikalawang baitang naman, ang unang kasanayang pampagkatuto ay pinanatili. Ito po, pinanatili. Samantalang ang tatlong kasanayang pampagkatuto, sumunod ay tinanggal na dahil ito ay paulit-ulit na nabanggit sa loob ng isang baitang. Tingnan ninyo, ang Filipino grade 2 lahat ito, paulit-ulit na binanggit sa isang baitang. So ang kabuuan, nagagamit ang unang kaalaman o karanasan sa pag-unawa ng napakinggang teksto. So ibig sabihin, naging malinaw na po dahil pinagsama na po natin, pinanatili po natin at meron tayong tinanggal para maiwasan ang pag-uulit. Sa ikatlong baitang naman, may tinanggal na dalawa at may inayos at pinagsama. Paano? Ang dahilan, tinanggal na ang dalawang naunang kasanayang pampagkatuto dahil ang mga ito ay kahalintulad lang ng mga sumunod na kasanayang pampagkatuto. Pinagsama at inayos na lamang ang tatlong natirang kasanayan dahil ito ay lumilinang lang ng isang kasanayan. So itong dalawa ang tinanggal, isasalaysay muli ang napakinggan teksto, ito pareho lang, at inayos at pinagsama na merge po natin at ito na ang kabuuan na isasalaysay muli ang teksto ng may tamang pagkasunod-sunod ng mga pangyayari sa tulong ng pamatnubay na tanong at balangkas. So pansinin ninyo, pamatnubay na tanong at balangkas, pinag-isa. Sa case stage 2 naman, pansinin natin ang pagbabago. Baitang 4 to 6, ang pamantayan natin ay kakayahan sa pagbasa at pagsulat. May pahayag ang kaalaman, ideya at damdaming angkop. Sa ikalimang baitang, kakayahan pa rin sa pakikipagtalastasan at may pagpapahalaga sa panitikan. Sa ika-6 na baitang, kakayahan pa rin sa pakikipagtalastasan, mapanuring pag-iisip at pagpapahalaga sa wika, panitikan at kultura. So, ibig sabihin, may pagkasunod-sunod. Okay, ito na, kinalabasan. Ang laki ng diferensya, kung mapapansin ninyo. Ang halimbawa, pinagsama. Ang dahilan, ang pinagsama itong tatlo, pinagsama ang kasanayang nais linangin sa mga tukoy na kasanayang pampagkatuto, kaya minabuting pagsamahin na ang mga ito. So, ang nabanggit dito ay pahayag, teksto at ulat. Tingnan natin ang kabuuan na pinagsama, nasasabi ang sanhi at bunga ayon sa nabasang pahayag napakinggang teksto at napakinggang ulat. O, tingnan ninyo, pinagsama. O, di ba? Mas naging matibay at naging mas malinaw. Sa ikalimang baitang naman, tinanggal itong lahat. Bakit? Nakasusunod sa 2-3 hakbang na panuto. Tinanggal itong lahat dahil sa napag-uulit-ulit na sa unang yugto o sa case stage 1, nabanggit na, kaya inaasahan na master na ito ng bata pagdating sa kalimang baitang. Ang competencing ito ay kasama na rin sa iba pang competency na nauukol sa pag-unawa sa iba't ibang teksto. At ang competencing ito ay magiging bahagi na ng proseso sa pagtuturo at pagkatuto bukod sa mahirap sukatin ang learning competency na ito. So ito ay hindi na pwedeng gamitin dahil ito ay tinanggal na upang magkaroon ng kalinawan. Nabanggit na kasi ito sa case stage 1. So sa baitang 6 o ika-6 na baitang, pinagsama naman natin ang 1, 2, 3, 4 na kasanayang pampagkatuto. Ibig sabihin, 4 pinagsama. Ang dahilan, isa lamang ang kasanayang nais linangin sa mga kasanayang pampagkatuto. Kaya pinagsama-sama na ito sa isang milk. Pansinin natin ang kabuuan, nasasagot ang mga tanong tungkol sa napakinggan at nabasa, napabula, kwento, tekstong pang-impormasyon at usapan. So ito na. Ibig sabihin, from 4, naging 1. Dahil pinagsama na sa ika-6 na baitang. Let's proceed to case stage 3 o baitang 7 to 10. Kung napansin niyo ay pamamalas na mag-aaral ang kakayahang komunikatibo, mapanuring pag-iisip at pag-unawa at pagpapahalagang pampanitikan ng kulturang panrehiyon. Dito naman ay kulturang Pilipino. Dito naman ay pagkakakilanlang Asyano sa ika-9 na baitang. At sa ika-10 baitang ay sa kamalayang global. Ito lang ang pagkakaiba ng pamantayan ng case stage 3. Ngayon, alamin natin sa grade 7 from 169 down to 47, from 152 down to 73, from 179 sa grade 9 to 103, 198 to 135 ang grade 10. Alamin natin ang mga inayos at pinagsama sa kasanayang pampagkatuto sa ika-7 baitang. Ang dahilan, diba, kung napansin natin, ang keyword dito, kahulugan, 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 at kasing kahulugan. So, mahalaga ang kasanayang ito sa pag-unawa sa binasa na kailanganin ng mga mag-aaral, kaya inayos lamang ang pangungusap at pinagsama na sa isang kasanayang pampagkatuto ang mga paraan ng pagbibigay ng kahulugan para hindi na po paulit-ulit. So inayos at ito na ang naging kabuuan na ipaliliwanag ang kahulugan ng salita sa pamamagitan ng pagpapangkat batay sa konteksto ng pangungusap, denotasyon at konotasyon at batay sa kasing kahulugan at kasalungat nito. So ibig sabihin, isa na, malinaw na, mas klaro na. Sa ika-8 baitang naman, inayos lang din natin. Isinama ang kasanayang pagkatuto na ito dahil kailangan ng ating mag-aaral na maging mapanuri sa mga pinanood sa telebisyon para maging tiyak na ipinagagawa, isinaayos ang kasanayang pagkatuto para maging milk. So, naging nasusuri ang napanood na pelikula batay sa paksa, layon, tema, gamit ang mga salita at mga tauhan. Sa ika-9 naman na baitang, tinanggal natin ito, itatanghal ang dulang panteatro na pumapaksa sa ilang napapanahong isyo, panlipunan sa kasalukuyan. Bakit tinanggal? Tinanggal na ang mga kompetensing hindi na magagawa ng mga mag-aaral ng mag-isa dahil nangangailangan ng face-to-face na ugnayan. At sa ika-10 baitang naman, nagagamit ang angkop at masining na paglalarawan ng tao, pangyayari at damdamin. Ito ay pinanatili dahil ang kasanayang ito ay tumutugon sa kahingian ng endurance na nagagamit sa pakikipag-ugnayan sa ibang tao. Ang kabuuan, nagagamit ang angkop at masining na paglalarawan ng tao, pangyayari at damdamin. Sa senior high school naman, mapapansin natin, sa core subjects, meron tayong 2, komunikasyon at pananaliksik sa wika at kulturang Pilipino, at pagbasa at pagsusuri ng iba't ibang teksto tungo sa pananaliksik. Ito ang kasanayang pampagkatuto. Tingnan natin mula 33 down to 29, at sa pagbasa naman ay 15, wala pong nabago. Mananatili po yun. Pansinin natin ang tinanggal sa komunikasyon at pananaliksik, nakasusulat ng isang panimulang pananaliksik sa mga penomenang kultural at panlipunan. Bakit po siya tinanggal? Inalis na ang kasanayang ito dahil or sapagkat nabanggit na ito o umulit na ito ng magkatulad na learning competency. Kung mapapansin ninyo sa kabuuan na ulit na po. At ito naman sa pagbasa at pagsusuri, natutukoy ang paksang tinalakay sa ibang tekstong binasa. Pinanatili po natin dahil mahalaga ang kasanayang ito upang matutuhan ang mga susunod na kasanayang pampagkatuto at nakatugon ito sa pamantayan. Ika nga. Sa applied subjects, ito yung Filipino sa piling larang. Meron tayong academic, may sports, may sining at disenyo at technical vocational. Sa Filipino sa piling larang academic, isa lang po ang natanggal. Sa piling larang ay isa rin po ang natanggal at nanatili naman sa sining at disenyo at technical vocational. Pansinin natin ang pinanatili natin sa Filipino sa piling larang na kapag sasagawa ng panimulang pananaliksik kaugnay ng kahulugan, kalikasan at katangian ng iba't ibang anyo ng sulating akademiko. Bakit siya pinanatili? Dahil nakatugon ang kasanayang ito sa pamantayan at sa kasanayan sa pananaliksik. So mahalagang mahalaga ito. Sa malikhaing pagsulat naman o specialized subject, ika nga, mula 27, naging 26 lamang po. Ito yon, isinaayos lamang natin, natutukoy ang iba't ibang elemento, mga teknik, kagamitang pampanitikan sa panulaan. Isinaayos lamang dahil ginawang mas tiyak ang kasanayang pampagkatuto. Mas malinaw na naging natutukoy ang mga tiyak na anyo at kumbensyon sa panulaan. Paano gamitin ang mga MERP ngayon? So, ang mangyayari dahil ito ay pangkalahatan na at napansin nyo naman kanina na pinag-isa na, pinagsama na as one. So, hihimay-himayin nyo lamang sa isang linggo, kung isang MERP lamang, hihimay-himayin nyo lang para sa matiyak na kasanayang pampagkatuto. Paano gamitin ito? Halimbawa, ito yung pangkalahatan o pinakamahalagang kasanayang pampagkatuto. Paano hinimay? Naging kung ito ay nagagamit ng wasto ang mga pangalan at panghalip sa pagtalakay tungkol sa sarili sa mga tao, hayop, lugar, bagay at pangyayari sa paligid, sa usapan at paglalahad tungkol sa sariling karanasan. Ito po ay sa ikalimang baitang unang markahan. Paano natin hinimay? Ito na, natutukoy ang kahulugan ng mga pangalan at panghalip, nakapagbibigay ng mga halimbawa ng pangalan at panghalip, nakapagbibigay ng reaksyon sa isang usapin, at naisasalaysay ang sariling karanasan. Ibig sabihin, ang nalinang po natin ay magkaiba, pero iisang MEROX lamang o competency, hinimay natin upang mas malinaw. So, mayroon po tayong kalayaan na maghimay-himay. So, ito, paano gagamitin? Ulitin ang ilang MEROC, pwede po sa iba pang markahan ng bawat baitang kung kinakailangan sa lalong paglinang nito. Halimbawa dito, sa unang baitang, ikatlong markahan, ikalawang baitang unang markahan, ikatlong baitang unang markahan, pareho lang po na ulit lang natin. Dahil kinakailangan po. Pero MEROC na po ito. Ito, kung napansin ninyo. Okay? Aktual na halimbawa ng listahan ng MELCs, ito po ang makikita ninyo. So ito po ay uploaded na sa ating LR portal at sa ating LMS. Pumili ng mga magkasamang MELC na sasakto para sa 8 linggo. Maaring sumangguni din sa gabay pang kurikulum para sa pagpapasyang ito. Ang mahalaga, matarget ang mga kasanayang pampagkatuto na nasa MELC sa bawat baitang. Bukod sa pangsangguni sa gabay pang kurikulum, para sa pag-uulit ng isang kasanayang pampagkatuto at sa pagpapasyang pagsama-sama ng ilang MELC sa isang markahan, maaari ding sumangguni sa final na version ng MELC kung saan makikita ang mga code dito. Again, ang final na version ng MELCS po ay nasa ating portal na, at sa mga education program supervisor, meron na rin po silang kopya na pwede maibigay sa inyo. Meron na rin po yung code. Ang mga code ang nagsasabi ko ano-ano mga LC ang pinagsama-sama sa bawat MELC. Paalala lamang po, binibigyang laya ang mga guro na makapili ng mga magkakasamang MELC sa bawat linggo. Ang layunin sa pagpili ng mga MELC ay hindi upang palitan ang kasalukuyang curriculum guide, kundi upang magabayan ang mga guro sa pagtukoy ng mga kompetensing mas kinakailangan ng mga mag-aaral sa taong panuruang 2020 to 2021. So, ibig sabihin, hinihikayat pa rin ang mga guro na sumangkuni sa curriculum guide ng Filipino. Muli, isang pagpapala ang makapaglingkod sa bayan. Maraming salamat, pamilyang Filipino. Ito po si Ginang Mary Jane M. Mejorada, ang Education Program Supervisor ng Philippines.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mary Jane Mejorada, for the very comprehensive discussion about the most essential learning competencies of Filipino. So moving on to our next speaker, and to lead us to another most essential learning competencies in English, the CLMD Education Program Supervisor of DepEd Region 11. None other than Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo.
One, to our Regional Director, Dr. Evelyn R. Fitalvero, our Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Maria Inesi Asuncion, to our CLMD Chief, Dr. Janet G. Veloso, to all chiefs of the regional office, functional divisions, our schools division superintendents, assistant schools division superintendents, all regional education program supervisors, CID chiefs and division Fs, and to all LMS trainers in the learning areas, the regional technical working group and staff, and of course, the English participants. Once again, a bountiful and healthful day to all of us. Well, to start, on and in behalf of the Bureau of Learning Delivery and the Bureau of Curriculum Development, I would like to cascade to you regional trainers the here in PowerPoint presentation on the most essential learning competencies or MELCs in English for grades 1 to 12. Well, due to COVID-19, the Department of Education urgently prepared the Learning Continuity Plan, or LCP, that highlights on the shortened academic calendar, different delivery models, and identification of MELCs. And then, as we all know, that prior to the pandemic, the BCD started working on the identification of essential learning competencies in the past 18 months as part of its initiative in reviewing the intended curriculum, where Bureau specialists, academic experts, and field implementers worked collaboratively employing the consensus judgment approach. And these LCs were determined based on a US developed competency validation rubric intended to assure that learning competencies can reach the highest level of quality and comparability across schools, with adaptations being made to improve relevance by accounting the Philippine context. By the way, what is an ELC? It is aligned with national, state, and or local standards, frameworks. Then it connects the content to higher concepts across content areas. It is applicable to real-life situations. It is more important than other LCs. Then it is not expected to be learned from parents or communities. Everybody is aware that we have various of learning competencies, as we can see in our curriculum guides. But then these 3,120 competencies are being converted into MELCs. In totality, there are 229. Like for instance, grade 1, current CG, 56, then MELCs, 12, and so on and so forth. So take note, we only have 229 for the MELCs. So now, in order to ensure that the grade level standards are maintained, the endurance criterion was used as the sole determiner for the MELCs, which requires that a learning competency or LC be useful in lifelong learning. Then to simplify, the word endurance means continuous and long lasting. Now, which LCs were considered enduring? First, those that work in close association with other competencies and other subjects, maintaining the curricular quality of integration. Example, for grade 4, quarter 1, identify different meanings of content, specific words, denotation, and connotation. Next, those that do not recur, recurrence is limited per key stage while observing spiral progression. There are competencies in which we could observe recurrence, meaning to say repetitive. Like for example, for key stage 2, for grade 6, quarter 2, the competency is detect biases and propaganda devices used by speakers. And then for key stage 3, grade 8, quarter 3, examine biases for or against made by the author. So this does not mean that the teacher is prohibited from teaching an LC more than once. Following the principle of curriculum flexibility and differentiated instruction, he or she is strongly advised to put focus and therefore repeat an LC should circumstance require. Ayan, so ibig sabihin, teacher factor pa rin as far as pedagogy or any other strategies. So as it requires, the teacher has really do something to modify just to reach out the learners. Another one, those LCs of the same nature that can be clustered together. As you can see the diagram, no? I mean, this illustration is very clear that among the many, these competencies are going to be clustered. Ayan. Okay, like this table here, that there are competencies, and then this encircled with the red marks, yep, are being studied until such time, no? Okay, this is actually the result of clustering. That is why it came out that the competency is to note significant details of various text types. In other words, from micro, nagiging macro siya. From many, nagiging ano na, one major thing. So that's it. Now, cluster competencies require unpacking and subtasking so that bigger or broader LCs may be broken down into manageable sub-competencies. Like, for example, use a variety of informative, persuasive, and argumentative writing techniques. Entail a number of other competencies in order for it to be achieved. Ito na yung basihan niya. One, making a strand. Two, gathering information from various sources. And the third one is citing sources of information. Now, how are the MELCs organized? So ito na. Okay, so you can see that there are competencies here that are being deleted, and the purpose of which is to be organized. Ayan. So na means for integration. And then the milks were arranged in a list based on cognitive demand, which makes a way for better curriculum flexibility as teachers are able to freely integrate the learning competencies without the restrictions of horizontal alignment. Now for the grading period, so I would say from quarters 1, 2, 3, 4. So here are the learning competencies. English, grade 6. Dito na nga. So for quarter 1, identify real or make-believe fact or non-fact images. Then interpret the meaning suggested in visual media through a focus on visual elements. For example, lines, symbols, color, gaze, framing, and social distance. And then make connections between information viewed and personal experiences. And then for quarters 2, identify the purpose, key structural, and language of features of various types of informational factual text. Recognize evaluative word choices to detect biases and propaganda devices used by speakers. And compare in contrast content of materials viewed to other sources of information, just like print, online, and broadcast. And then now for the quarters 3, present a coherent comprehension report on different viewpoints of an issue and evaluate narratives based on how to the author developed the elements. And then for the fourth quarters, compose clear and coherent sentences using appropriate grammatical structures. And these are the verb tenses, conjunction, and then adverbs. And then compose persuasive essay on self-selected topics. The schedule and time allotment of LCs in quarters are suggestive in nature. The duration of an LC is relative. What is required is that the list of competencies be achieved in the specified grade level. Another one is because content and performance standards in the English curriculum are described in such detail, the process of determining the marks required that some of these standards be forgone. And take note that we have four standards. We have the program, the grade level, the content, and the performance. Now let us have the walkthrough of the milks into three case stages. Now for case stage 1, that's for grades 1 to 3. Okay, grade level standards for grade 1. The learner listens for comprehension, speaks clearly, and uses appropriate expressions in talking about oneself, family, and other social context interactions. Grade 2. The learner listens critically to one two paragraphs, use appropriate expressions in varied situations, and then read text for pleasure and information, critically and meaningful thought units, responds properly to environmental prints like signs, posters, comments, and requests, and writes legibly simple sentences and messages in cursive form. And then for grade 3, the learner listens critical to get information from text heard, demonstrates independence in using the basic language structure in oral and written communication, and reads with comprehension. Okay, let's now check this illustration here that the learning competency from K to 12 English curriculum guide. So these are all called merged. Okay, this group of words that are blocked, yep, with the red marks. So these are merged and then converted into one. So the retained or rephrased now as milk, ito na. So this becomes Read phrases, short sentences, and short stories consisting of words, right? Short eh, the a, the e, the o, and the ah. Then answer the who, what, and where questions about them. Again, this milk is retained, rephrased, basing from the merged LCs. Okay, next one is ito na. Another learning competency from K to 12 English CG marked as dropped. Use common expressions and polite greetings. Why is it dropped? There is justification of that. That during the curriculum review in the 2019, this is one of the LCs tagged as desirable and was therefore no longer retained as a MAL. So that was the justification of that. Another one, LC from K to 12 English CG retained as MALC. Review, reading, and writing short e, a, e, o, in a words in CVC pattern. So the justification goes this way. This is an example of an LC from the CG that is retained to ensure a smooth flow of transition from reading to writing. Thus, a review of the short sound is necessary. This will also be helpful in case not all the short sounds were covered in the previous grade level. Now let us have a walkthrough of the MELCs, and this time for Key Stage 2 from grades 4 to 6. Now for the grade level standards, grade 4, the learner listens critically to various text types and expresses ideas accurately in both oral and written forms, demonstrates confidence in the use of the language to meet everyday needs, and reads independently and gets relevant information from various text types. And then for grade 5, the learner listens critically to different text types, including news reports and other radio broadcasts, needs independently and gets relevant information from various text types, expresses ideas accurately and logically in oral and written forms, demonstrates interests in reading and confidence in the use of the language to meet various everyday needs. And then for the grade 6, the learner listens critically, communicates feelings and ideas orally, in writing with the high level of proficiency, and reads various text types, materials to serve learning needs in meeting a wide range of life's purposes. Now, again, out of many learning competencies, these are clustered into use context clues to find meanings of unfamiliar words. Now, the learning competency from K to 12 English CG considered dropped, show willingness and enthusiasm in reading or listening to a literary text. And then the justification why this LC is dropped. All LCs under the attitude domain were deleted as this may be subsumed in another learning area, example ESP, that focuses on attitude formation. So when we say subsume, this is actually absorbed, no, into other LC. And this particular LC pala is on the other learning area, which is ESP. Another LC from K to 12, why is it retained as milk? Right? Or compose an editorial. The justification on this is the identified LC was considered as milk and therefore retained because it satisfied the endurance criterion, which states that a learning competency or LC should play a role in lifelong learning. In particular, given the cognitive demand of the LC, unpacking it would be necessitate or it would necessitate a number of other essential LCs, like for example, making a strand, developing arguments, supporting claims with evidence. Again, the highlighted word in here is endurance. So meaning to say, um, continuous, and the other term for that is long lasting. Now let's have a walkthrough of the MELCs for Key Stage 3 for grades 7 to 10. Now the grade level standards for grade 7. The learner demonstrates communicative competence through his/her understanding of Philippine literature and other text types for a deeper appreciation of Philippine culture. And then for grade 8, the learner demonstrates communicative competence through his or her understanding of Afro-Asian literature and other text types for a deeper appreciation of Philippine culture and those of other countries. And then for grade 9, the learner demonstrates communicative competence through his or her understanding of British American literature, including Philippine literature and other text types, for a deeper appreciation of the Philippine culture and those of other countries. And for grade 10, the learner demonstrates communicative competence through his or her understanding of literature and other text types for a deeper appreciation of world literature, including the Philippine literature. Now, the competencies now encircled with the red marks. Okay, the first one is use appropriate idiomatic expressions in a variety of basic interpersonal communicative situations. Since this LC style develops skills in employing a variety of interpersonal communication strategies, they merge into the milk. And another one, select an appropriate colloquial or idiomatic word or expression as a substitute for another word or expression. So the competency for this is to employ a variety of strategies for effective interpersonal communication, as such, interview, dialogue, conversation, and many others. Now, this learning competency was retained. Okay, the competency goes like this: express one's beliefs, convictions based on a material viewed. Why is it retained? Due to its compliance to the endurance criterion. Expressing one's belief or conviction on material viewed is an indication that a learner has already established skills on making a stand taught in earlier grade level. Another one, these learning competencies were dropped due to recurrence. What are these competencies? Ito na, so listen for important points signaled by volume, projection, pitch, stress. Yep, same thing with, parang nagkaiba lang doon sa, sa first word, then followed by almost similar words. Note the changes in volume, projection, pitch, stress, intonation, juncture, and rate of speech. Another one, listen for important points. Okay, there's that volume, projection, stress, intonation. Then next is, yeah, they almost have the same words used here. And then these learning competencies were dropped due to recurrence. Ayan, due to repetition. So these competencies now are being subsumed in. That's why you have to employ now a variety of strategies for effective interpersonal communication. And then pasok na dyan ang interview, dialogue, conversation. Ayan. So, again, from dropping into subsuming. Ayan. Tama ba ang aking term? So, the new competency now is to employ. a variety of strategies. Okay, now for case stage 4, the senior high school grades 11 to 12. So we have the course description with the core subject, the reading and writing. For grades 11 and 12, the development of reading and writing skills as applied to a wide range of materials other than poetry, fiction, and drama. Okay, I want you to see the learning competencies. The first one, the learner now is to describe a written text as connected discourse. And then number 4, identifies properties of a well-written text as to organization, coherence, and cohesion, the language use, and the mechanics. You know, these LCs were merged into a modified LC since both develop skills on written text. So the final one now is evaluate a written text based on its properties as to organization, coherence, and cohesion, the language use, and mechanics. The competency goes way explains how one's purpose is a crucial consideration in academic and professional writing. You know, this LC was dropped since it is already subsumed in the competency below. Thus, identifies the unique features of and requirements in composing text that are useful across disciplines, like a book review or article critic, literature review, research report, project proposal, and position paper. Ayan, so to all participants, ayan, so thank you for listening. Then if you have something to be emphasized, to be discussed, to be asked later on during the open forum. Okay, once again, thank you so much for listening. This is Manuel P. Vallejo, in charge of the English or the regional focal person in English. Once again, good day, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo, the CLMD Education Program Supervisor of English DepEd Region 11. At this moment, to give us walkthrough on the most essential learning competencies in mathematics, let us all welcome on screen the CLMD APS of Mathematics, DepEd Region 11, Dr. Renato C. Pakpakin. Okay, but before we proceed, let's have first a greetings coming from Sir Rodel Fernandez. Good morning lang. Good morning. Laban lang. Bisan di cooperative ang signal. Hihi. Good morning, sir. Okay, same tag problema diri, sir. From Ma'am Mary Grace Caballero. Good morning, everyone. So, good morning, Ma'am. And another greetings coming from Sir Leo Malinday Ligaspi. God bless, Talaingod. God bless, sir. Good morning. And from Ma'am Teresa Siniagan of Dato Jose Libayaw, mabuhay po tayong lahat. Laban lang mga teachers ni normal classroom. Okay, laban lang po tayo, ma'am. And from ma'am, Sheila May Pancho, good morning. Shout out po sa lahat ng mga kasamahan ko sa Cuyas Elementary School. Salamat. Okay. Good morning, Ma'am Sheila. Another greetings coming from Ma'am Janet Lopez. Okay. Still watching. Thank you po, sir. Okay. From Ma'am Idsilin Lugbak. Good morning po, mga ma'am og sir. And from Ma'am Charlita Leon Silverio, watching here from Kilometer 31 Primary School. Okay, so again, thank you so much, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo, the CLMD Education Program Supervisor of English, DepEd Region 11. At this moment, to give us walkthrough on the most essential learning competencies in mathematics, let us all welcome on screen the CLMD Education Program Supervisor in Mathematics of DepEd Region 11, Dr. Renato N. Pakpakin.
Okay, so I will now present the walkthrough with the milk in mathematics. So we will start with subject that pervades life at any age and in any circumstance. Thus, its value goes beyond the classroom and school. Mathematics as a school subject, therefore, must be learned comprehensively and with much depth. So the twin goals of mathematics in the basic education levels 2 to 10 are critical thinking and problem solving. Critical thinking, according to Stephen and Paul, 1987, is the intellectual discipline process of actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, or evaluating information gathered from or generated by observation, experience, reflection, reasoning, communication as a guide to a belief and action. So on the other hand, mathematical problem solving is a way around to find solutions around a difficulty, around an obstacle, and finding a solution to a problem that is unknown. So these two goals are to be achieved with an organized, rigorous curriculum content, a well-defined set of high-level skills and processes, desirable attitude and values, appropriate tools, taking into account the different content of the Filipino learners. So there are 5 content areas in the curriculum adapted from the framework. We have numbers, number sense, measurement, geometry, patterns in algebra, and probability and statistics. So the specific skills and processes to be developed are knowing and understanding, estimating, computing, and solving, visualizing and modeling, representing, communicating, conjecturing, reasoning, proving, making, implying, and connecting. So the following values and attitude are to be honed as well. We have accuracy, creativity, objectivity, perseverance, and productivity. So we recognize that the use of appropriate tools is necessary in teaching mathematics. So this includes manipulative objects, measuring devices, calculators and computers, smartphones, and tablets, PCs, and the internet. So let us move to the identification of the most essential learning competencies from our current curriculum guide, learning competencies. So the Department of Education conducted curriculum review, a curriculum review of the intended curriculum. So they map essential and desirable competencies. They identify the prerequisite knowledge and skills within the learning area. Analysis of conduct analysis of interconnectedness of prerequisite knowledge and skills among learning competencies across learning areas. So from the curriculum review of grade 2, second quarter, number 10, for competencies number 24, for example, 24, 27, the four competencies are considered essential learning competencies. And how do we know that the competencies are essential? If that competency is what the students need, considered indispensable to building skills to equip learners for the next grade level and for lifelong learning. So the three were considered as essential. And because they were essential, of course, they have to undergo endurance criterion. As we can see from their identification of NELs, we have identified that only competency 24 and 27 satisfies endurance criterion. How do we know that the competency satisfies the endurance criterion? What do we mean by endurance? So endurance, if the competency will remain with learners long after a test or unit or study is completed, if it is useful beyond a single test or unit of a study. So we are also merging number 25 and number 26, that's the action taken. Because as you can see from the two competencies are related and may be harmonized, unified for a more focused development of the concept. Here, another example, we have curriculum review of grade 2 again. So for competencies number 28, 29, 30, 31. So only competency number 29 and 30 are considered essential. So the competency 28 and 31 were considered desirable. And upon identification of them, those desirable competencies were taken out and included as most essential learning competencies. So what left? Competency number 29 and 30, of which they are considered essential. How do we know that? How to determine that the competency is a desirable competency? If that competency will only enhance education, but will not be necessary in building foundational skills of our learners. So that is desirable competencies. Another example for curriculum review of grade 6 measurement. Um, Competency number 70, 1, 73, 75, 76 were essential, and 74 and 77 were considered desirable. But during their identification, they also did not include and drop competency number 71 because it was identified that the learning competency is more of a teacher's action. How to use the MELT, the most essential learning competencies in mathematics? First, appraise the content standard in each quarter of your grade level. The content standards guide you in tracking the learning content you focus per quarter. Plan the instructional activities based on performance standards, that is designing instructional activities tasks suited for the type of learning delivery modality you need. Contextualize the instructional task whenever necessary. Number three, examine the identified notes for each quarter. You have to remember that time will be flexible because what is being prioritized is the development of math skills over competence in content knowledge. So the MELP is the learning goal for the quarter. And task is the MELP is a big chunk of a learning goal. That is why at the end of my presentation, we will be starting unpacking of competencies because it was there were also competencies that were of a big chunk of a learning goal. So let us compare the number of learning competencies in the original curriculum guide that we're using now and the that we are presently using, and the essential learning competencies and the most essential learning competencies. For grade 1, we have current uh, curriculum guide, a total of 66 learning competencies, down to 62 considered as considered as essential learning competencies, and we only have 38, the most essential learning competencies. So for grades 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a total of 741 learning competencies, and we have only 657 essential learning competencies with a total of 543 identified as the most essential learning competencies. Let us compare also the number of competencies retained, dropped, merged from the original curriculum guide by grade level. As you can see, those grade level with the highest number of competencies being retained is grade 9. Grade 9. And the most number of competencies are being merged and replaced, um, grade 1. The most number of competencies dropped is grade 5 and grade 6. So that's the comparison. Let us now have a walkthrough of a stage 1 test. So for mathematics grade 1, quarter 1, we have a total of 10 competencies identified as the most essential learning competencies because some of the competencies were merged, replaced, dropped. Like for example, for competencies number 1, number 6, 7, and 2 and 8 were merged and replaced. And competency number 4 was dropped. Number 12 and number 13 merged and replaced. 14 and 15 merged and replaced. So for mathematics grade 1 quarter 2, a total of 8 competencies identified as the most essential because learning competency 27 and 36 were dropped, 21 and also 22. So competency number 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25 were merged and replaced because they are related competencies. For grade 1 second quarter, uh, for competency number 30, 31, 32, those were merged and replaced, while 32, number 30 competency was dropped. For grade 1, quarter 3, we have a total of 12 identified most essential learning competencies because competency number 39, 40 were merged and replaced, and 41 and 42 were also merged and replaced. Um, the competency number 48, 49 also were merged and replaced. For quarter 4, grade 1, a total of 8 competencies considered as most essential. Competency number 58, 59, and 60 were merged and replaced, while competencies 61, 65, and 56 were dropped. For mathematics grade 2, quarter 1, um, we have a total of 14 most essential learning competencies because competency number 1, 2 were merged, 7, 8 merged, 9, 10, and 11 were also merged. It is because competencies are related and some were subsumed in some of the competencies. Um, Competency number 16, 17 merged, replaced. Competency number 18, 19, 20, 21 were merged and replaced, while competency number 22 was dropped. Quarter 2 of mathematics grade 2, we have 10 most essential learning competencies. Because learning competency number 28, 31, and 41 were dropped. Competency number 25 and number 26 were merged and replaced. For mathematics, second quarter, grade 2, competency number 32, 33, merged and raised. 34, 35 were also merged and raised. Competency number 39 and 40 merged and replaced, which they were related. So we just move to quarter 3 of grade 2, total 15 most essential learning competencies. Competency number 43 and 48 jobs. Competency number 51, 52 merge and refrain. Competency number 54, 55 merge and refrain. Refrain. 58 jobs. For competency number 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, and 68 were all jobs. Because as you can see, the reason I dropped in learning competencies were integrated in some articles. So for quarter 4 of mathematics grade 2, we only have 15 competencies, most essential. Because competency number 70, 71 were merged and replaced. Competency number 72, 74 merged and replaced. 73 and 78 merged and replaced because they were related. 77, 79 again merged and replaced. While 83, 84, 80, while 83 and 84 were dropped. So for competency number 88, 89, 92, and 93, those competencies were dropped because we observed that competency 88 and 89 were not appropriate for grade 2. So there's still a master reading and writing. So we have reasons from the action taken. So for mathematics grade 3, quarter 1, we have most essential learning competencies at 15. While learning competency number 15 and 24 will drop. Competency number 5 and 6 merge and replace. 8 and 9 merge and replace. 13, 14 merge and replace. 19 and 20 merge and replace. For quarter 2 of grade 3, we only have 14 most essential learning competencies because learning competency number 36 and 45 were dropped. Learning competency number 25 and 26, 27 were all merged and replaced because they were related. So competencies number 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 merged and replaced. So competencies number 40 and 41 merged and replaced. So let us move to quarter 3 of mathematics grade 3. Total of 13 most essential learning competencies because competencies number 27, 49 were merged and replaced. 50 and 51, 52 were also merged and replaced, while competency number 6 was not. It's integrated in the algebra. For mathematics grade 3, quarter 4, we have only 13 most essential learning competencies because competency number 63, 64 were merged and replaced. Competency number 65 was replaced. Competency number 58 and 69 merged and replaced. Competency number 71, 72, 74, those competencies were dropped. So let us now move to our walkthrough in page 2 now. Let us start with quarter 1 of mathematics grade 4. For mathematics grade 4, quarter 1, we only have 14 most essential learning competencies. For in the identification of those essential learning competencies, competency number 12 and 19 were dropped. Competencies number 3 and 5 were merged and replaced. Competency 14 and 15 merged and replaced. Competency number 20, 21 merged and replaced. For quarter 2, for grade 4, we have only 18 essential learning competencies because learning competency number 29 and 28 were dropped. 26, 27 were merged and replaced, while 30, 35 were dropped. Okay, so let us move to quarter 2 of grade 4. Total of 17 most essential learning competencies. Competency number 45, 46 were merged and replaced. Competencies number 60, 66, and 67 were dropped. For quarter 4 of math grade 4, we only have 15 now. It was 69, number 69 competencies, 71, 23, 26, and 86 were all dropped competencies. For mathematics grade 5 quarter 1, total only of 17 identified most essential learning competencies. Because learning competency 8, 14, 15, 23, and 28 were dropped. Competencies number 1, 2, 3 were also dropped. Competencies number 9 and 10 merged and replaced. Competencies number 11 and 12 merged and replaced. 15 and 16 also merged and replaced. So, quarter 2 of grade 5, total of 19 most essential learning competencies. Learning competency number 37 and 48 were dropped. Learning competency number 33, 35, 38, 43 were dropped because those competencies does not satisfy the insurance criteria. Learning competency number 45, 46, and 50 were also dropped because 46 was assumed in learning competency number 45 and also 50 was assumed in learning competency number 49. It has moved to mathematics 5 grade 5 quarter 3 with a total of 21 most essential learning competencies. Um, for competency number 61, for competency number 64, 66, and 78 were dropped. Mathematics grade 5 quarter 4, total of 18 learning most essential learning competencies. Learning competency 85, between 7, 107 were dropped. Learning competency 82, 88 also were dropped. Learning competency 81, 95, and 98 also were dropped. Mathematics 6, quarter 1, a total of 17 most essential learning competencies. Learning competency number 3, 6, 9, 12, 17, 25 of grade 6 were part were dropped. Learning competency number 18, 19, merge and replace. Learning competency number 20 and 21, merge and replace. Quarter 2 of grade 6, total of 17 most essential learning competency number 27, 29, 32, 36 were dropped, while competency number 41 and 42 merged and replaced. Competency number 44 and 45 merged and replaced. Quarter 3 of grade 6, a total of 15 most essential learning competencies. Because learning competency number 61, 74, 27 were dropped. Learning competency number 67, 71 dropped. 49, 51 merged and replaced, while 53 and 54 were dropped. So for quarter 4 of grade 6, a total of 12 learning competencies. Competency number 78 dropped. Number 79 and 80 merged and replaced. 82 dropped. 84 and 89 dropped. So let us now move to our walkthrough of junior high school mathematics. Now, mathematics grade 7, quarter 1, total of 15 most essential learning competencies. For competency number 1 and 2, the action taken was to merge and replace, while competency number 3 and 4 also merge and replace, 15 and 19 merge and replace. For quarter 2, we only have identified 16 most essential learning competencies. We have competency number 20 and 21 dropped, competency number 25 and 36 merged and replaced. Competency number 26 and 27 and also 29 were all merged and replaced because the learning competencies having the same mathematical focus and foundational skills are merged, mastered, and replaced. Competencies number 35 and 37 merged and replaced. For quarter 3 of grade 7, we only have 11 most essential learning competencies. Um, there were no drops, nor merged and replaced competencies. For quarter four, um, only competency number 53 was dropped. So about grade 8, quarter 1, we only have a total of 18 most essential learning competencies, with competency number 9 and 10 merged and rephrased, competencies number 19 and 20 merged and rephrased. Mathematics grade 8, quarter 2, a total of 16 most essential learning competencies, um, because 21 and 22 learning competencies were merged and replaced, while 25 dropped, 31 and 32 were merged, rephrased. Quarter 3 of grade 8, total of 8 most essential learning competencies. No changes. No changes for quarter 3 of grade 8. Quarter 4 of grade 8, we have only 10 most essential learning competencies. So no changes. Um, no action taken. You can see from the slide. So math grade 9 quarter 1, we have 16 identified most essential learning competencies. No change. No changes. No, there were no, um, all of the competencies were most essential. So mathematics grade 9 quarter 2, we have only 11 most essential learning competencies because 21 dropped. Okay, so for mathematics grade 9 quarter 3, we have only 12 most essential learning competencies because competency number 29 was dropped. So how about quarter 4? Quarter 4 has only 6 most essential learning competencies without change. So mathematics grade 10 quarter 1, we have only identified 12 most essential learning competencies because competency number 3 and 4 were merged and replaced. Competency number 7 dropped. Competencies number 8 and 9 merged and replaced, while competency number 10 dropped. Competencies number 13 and 16 merged and replaced. 17 dropped. For quarter 2 of grade 10, total of 12 identified most essential learning competencies because competency number 20 was replaced. Competencies number 27 dropped. 31 and 32 merged and replaced. Quarter 3 of grade 10, total of 10 most essential learning competencies because 34 and 38 learning competencies were taught. Quarter 4 of grade 10, total of only 6 most essential learning competencies. So let us now have an overview of our senior high school mathematics subject. So for senior high school mathematics subject, in general mathematics, statistics and probability, business mathematics. While for STEM courses, we have pre-calculus, basic calculus. As we can see from the table, for general mathematics, we have only 63 learning competencies from our current curriculum guide, while we identified only 58 essential learning competencies and down to 54 identified most essential learning competencies. For statistics and probability, 71 was from the current curriculum guide, while only 65 identified as essential and 37 as most essential. For business mathematics, 45 from the curriculum guide and 35 the most essential learning competencies. Pre-calculus, 49 and 30 most essential. Basic calculus, 39 from the current curriculum guide, learning competencies are only 32 considered as most essential. If we are to compare the retained merged and those learning competencies from the original PG, we can see from the graph that the same competencies of general mathematics is the highest percentage from all the five subjects, while business mathematics has the highest merging and continuous rate. And the calculus is the highest percentage of competencies. So let us now move to our workflow of core subjects, um, core math subjects, and business math. So let us start from general mathematics part 1. For general mathematics part 1, we only have a total of 20 identified most essential learning competencies. Competency number 11, 17, 25, 24, 39 for all subjects. Mathematics Quarter 2, General Mathematics, total of 24 identified most essential learning competencies. Competency number 49 was dropped, while 53 and 54 were merged and replaced. 52, 63 dropped, was quarter 3 of statistics and probability, total of 27 most essential learning competencies. Because competency number 5 was 27 for the content knowledge that widely used in conducting student research in senior high school. Competitives number 28, 30, 31 also dropped. Competitives number 33, 34, 35 dropped. Competitives number 37, 38, 39 also were dropped. And also 40 and 41. So let us now move to quarter 4 of statistics and probability. Total and 24 most essential learning competencies. Part number competency number 37 dropped. Quarter 1 in business mathematics, a total of 15 most essential learning competencies identified. While competency number 1 was dropped, competencies number 2 and 3 were merged. So, competencies number 1 dropped, 2 and 3 were merged and replaced. So for competencies number 2, replaced. Competencies number 5, number 10, replaced. For quarter 2 of business mathematics, we only have 20 most essential learning competencies. Because competency number 13 replaced. Competency number 3 dropped. Competency, competency number 1, 3, 4 were all dropped. Competencies number 6 and 7 were merged and replaced. So let us now move to our walkthrough of pre-calculus and basic calculus notes. For pre-calculus quarter 1, total of 15 most essential learning competencies identified with competency number 4, 7, 10, 13 were dropped. Competencies number 16, 17, 18, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 were dropped. Competencies of quarter 2 identified as most essential competencies is 15. So competency number 6 replaced, competency number 8 replaced, competency 10 and 11, 12 merged and replaced. While competency number 13, 14, 15, 17, 18 were all dropped. Competencies number 19, 20, 21, 22 also were dropped. For quarter 3 of basic calculus, a total of 22 identified most essential learning competencies because certain competency was replaced. Competencies like 10 and 11, 10, 11, 12 were all dropped, including competency number 5. Competency number 6 was replaced. Competency number 7 replaced. Competency number 8 dropped. For quarter 4 of basic calculus, total of only 11 most essential learning competencies. Because competency number 3 was replaced, 4 also was replaced, 5 replaced, competency number 6 dropped, competency number 7 replaced, and competency number 10 dropped. So let us now move to unpacking of milk. Unpacking of milk. Why is it that we need to unpack the most essential learning competencies? Because we ascertained that some of those identified learning competencies were of a big chunk. So probably those competencies we have of different levels. So that should be unpacked. So why we need to unpack? Because there are some competencies that are too ambiguous, too broad, or too narrow, and reflect different kinds of goals and simultaneously. In unpacking the competencies, we have to consider knowledge, skill, core message, the value, and the little reaper, the unpacking to pass analysis of the content standard. So in unpacking of the competencies, it's important that you have to consider the teaching and the learning content. Consider the learner's characteristics. Consider let us also determine the required skills, knowledge, and incorporate into delivery and assessment. Determine the dimensions of competitive and also incorporate in delivery and assessment. Determine the key competencies, employability skills, and incorporate in delivery and assessment. Determine also the appropriate and individual learning activity. So let us have a very simple example of unpacked learning competencies. For grade 3 or tier 1 mathematics, for example, competencies number 5, number 7, number 11, number 10, are of a big chunk competency. So we split the competencies for competency for number 5 into two sub-competencies. For compares using relation symbols and orders in increasing or decreasing order, 4 to 5 digit numbers up to 10,000, we splitted. We splitted the competency into comparing numbers at both 10,000 using relation symbols and ordering 4 to 5 digit numbers in increasing or decreasing order. Also, competency number 7 was split into uh, two sub-competencies, also for 11 and number 15. So it is important that to split. However, we also need to consider the time allotment each of the competencies. So let us now move to the sample lesson exemplar in mathematics. So I choose uh, the first quarter of grade 8 mathematics that is to be done week 7 with a duration of 3 days. So in the lesson exemplar was clearly presented the content standard, the performance standard, the learning competency and its code, the key concept, the learning objectives, it's very important. Number two, the content, and also specify the references. Number three, the learning procedures. So for learning procedures, we have part one, the preliminary activities. Preliminary activities include prayer, greeting, uh, yes, preliminary activities will start with prayer, greeting, checking of attendance, and reminders. Part of the preliminary activities is a drill, um, review, and motivation. Second part of the learning procedure is the developmental activity. Developmental activity includes the activity, the analysis, the abstraction, the application. So for part 4 is the evaluation. Part 5, agreement, assignment. Part 6, the reflection. And also do not forget to answer and input the data like numbers, number of learners who earned 80% in the evaluation, the number of learners who require additional activities for remediation who scored below 80%, and also try to answer the following questions. Did the remedial lessons work? And also include the number of learners who have caught up with the lesson, number of learners need to continue to remediation, and also which of my teaching strategies worked well and why did those strategies work. Include also at the bottom part of your lesson your name was. It's your hard work. You have to put your name as a writer, include the school and the division. So if you are putting some illustration, a figure in your lesson exemplar to avoid um, copying some illustrations. from the internet, from the book, or from other sources. Ask for the help of some illustrators. But you have to also include the name of the illustrator, including the school and the division. That's the lesson we should learn.
There you have it, Dr. Renato Sipakpakin, the CLMD Education Program Supervisor of Mathematics, DepEd Region 11. I hope na naintindihan natin ang mga tinalakay ng ating mga regional education supervisors. Before we proceed to our district open forum, let us watch first the division open forum para masagutan po ang ilang mga katanungan. So let's watch this. Okay, sorry for that. So again, let's proceed. The division open forum. Okay, the division open forum para masagutan po ang ilang mga katanungan. So let's watch this. Okay, so before proceed po, dahil sa mga technical problems, so greetings coming from Sir Junrel Laab. Good morning po, Horot. Have a nice day. Still watching live from Nasilaban. Okay, good day from Sir ay Ma'am Michelle Mortejo Hamilo, Ma'am Janet Joanne Jovalyn Marge and of Briggs. Okay, from Sir Arnel Dongo, good morning everyone. God bless us all. Okay, another greetings. Okay, from Ma'am Charity Hope Cantaliejo, basahon jud nako ni kagwapag yun sa MCOy. Salamat Ma'am Charity. From Ma'am Rochin Akaw, from Barobo Elementary School teacher still watching. Good morning.
Yan.
Okay,
So,
another greetings
ma'am,
from Rodel Fernandez.
2020,
For
Morning,
example,
laban lang,
dito man na
Bisaya
tagikan.
Cooperative
Wala man nato
Bank.
implementation, no, that it will be still be used, but it doesn't mean that that melts will only be the learning competencies that will be taught, no, for the succeeding school years, because we know pretty well that, let's say for example, in English there were 3,000 plus uh, else, di ba? Tapos ngayon, 229 na lang. So, ibig sabihin, well, it was planned already a few years ago, but there is still possibilities that those else competencies which were not included, are not included at present, will still be included in the coming school year. So, hindi naman natin alam, no, kung ano mangyayari for the succeeding school years. Pero yung ELCS natin, nandiyan na kasi yan, targeted na yan for mastery of our learners. Kaya lang nagkataon na after their plan of decongesting the K-12 curriculum, so it fits this school year 2020-2021.
ayun po. Thank you so much, Doc Allen and Ma'am Gloria Subong, for answering our first question. So let us now proceed to our second question for this open forum. Ayan. So can we see now the second question po? Ayan. Our second question is from Ma'am Shirley Abhilan. Ask ko lang po, ma'am and sir. In example, pag may 8 subjects, 8 modules din po ba ang sasagutan ng bata per week? Thank you daw po in advance. Yan. So, sino po ba ang pwedeng makasagot sa katanungan?
That siguro, no, it goes with what the learners are going to do for this school year, di ba? So hindi ibig sabihin na nasa pandemic period tayo na pwede silang mamili kung anong module yung sasagutin nila. So since officially enrolled sila for this school year, at lahat ng mga subjects, although it was those subjects were or curriculum were decongested, but they still need to comply. Kahit alimbawa 8 subjects ang isang grade level, so natural, lahat ng mga modules galing sa subjects na yon, they need to interact or comply with those modules. Hindi sila pwedeng mamili kasi 'di ba graded pa rin sila kahit
Yes.
na naka-online platform tayo or or say modular, 'di ba? If you practice the reading modules, our learning
activities sheets in reading, di ba? Every week, ginahatid, tapos gina-retrieve. So, ibig sabihin, wala lang siyang computation ng grade. Pero na-imagine ko na next school year na 8 subjects sa isang bata, 8 modules din yung sasagutin niya, mag-interact siya doon, ibabalik niya yun sa teacher concern niya. So kung makulangan yung isang module, ibig sabihin, may problema siya sa subject na yon. Sa akin lang yan kasi di ba, it goes with what the next school year are offering in each grade level.
Okay, thank you, Doc Allen. So, parang nasa loob lang talaga po talaga ng classroom yung ating mga bata. They have
Oo,
to
ganun pa
involve
rin.
themselves with all the subjects po, di ba?
Yes.
Yan, sige. So, let us now proceed to our third question po. This question is from Sir Bernard Mallorca. Good morning, Sir Bernard. And ito po ang tanong ni Sir Bernard. Do we still impose the 5-year-old as of June 1 and for the last day of August as the minimum age of kindergarten? Ulitin ko po. Do we still impose the 5-year-old as of June 1 and for the last day of August as the
Okay.
minimum age of kindergarten? Okay, Ma'am Glo.
Okay. Thank you for the question. That is the question of all people considering kinder is such a crucial stage. Okay, per DepEd Order 20 series of 2018, we have to consider 5-year-old learners as of June 1 to last until August 31. That is if we start by June 1. There is also the provision that if we start by August, since we are starting by August, so August 1 until October 31, mag 5 years old siya, that is the minimum age requirement of the kindergarten pupils. So be it known nga kinahanglan 5 years old siya by August 1 until October 31 po. Thank you.
Ayun, a very clear answer from our education program supervisor, focal person in kindergarten. Ayan. So, let us now proceed to our next question. And I think this question po is for Sir Medo Sala, our focal person in mathematics. The question po is coming from Sir Glenn Adonis Flores. So, there are 40 plus math milk for junior high school which to be given for 4 quarters. However, in general math for senior high school, there are 54 melts to be given for 2 quarters only. Why does the number of melts is not equal throughout the math subject? Bakit hindi po daw equal? Iba-iba ang numbers ng melts. Sir.
Hello, Gudon. Actually, the competencies of the mathematics, they are different, no? Especially in the senior high school, all learning areas or all mathematics subjects are usually the competencies are decreased, no? Depending on the subject. So in a particular senior high school, especially in general mathematics, of course, na-reduce din yung competencies, no, for first and second quarter.
Alright.
At hindi natin control yan dahil gawa yan ng central office, yung milk natin na sinusunod.
Okay, sir. So, yun na po talaga, di ba? Nakasaad na siya, nakalagay na sa printed na mga most essential learning competencies in mathematics. So, hindi po talaga same number ang ating mga melts for junior high and for senior high school. Po. So, sana ay nasagot po namin ang iyong question, Sir Glenn Adonis Torres. And I think we can still accommodate po last question. Yan. So this is the next question po. Good morning po, sir and ma'am. Maaari po kaya na sa multi-grade gagamit ng modules at worksheets tulad ng mga monograde kasi po kukonti na lang din po yung competencies at saka po modular. Thank you po. Again, allow me po to read the question once more. This is for Ma'am Marlene. And good morning po, sir and ma'am. Maaari po ba kaya na sa multi-grade gagamit ng modules at worksheets tulad ng sa monograde kasi po kukonti na lang din po yung competencies at saka po modular. Thank you po. Yan.
Okay, good morning. For
Morning.
multigrade, meron din silang milk na binigay sa kanila. Gagawa din sila, meron din module for multigrade. Huwag kayong mag-alala na meron din module para sa multigrade.
Wow, that's good news. Thank you very much, Ma'am Marlene. Ayun, diretsong sagot. So huwag po tayo mag-alala for our multi-grade because meron din pong dinidevelop na modules for you. Ayan. So once again, I would like to thank all our education program supervisors for joining me today in our open forum. Maraming salamat po. And for those questions na ipinost po ng ating mga participants na hindi na natin ma-accommodate for our schedule this morning, my advice po is for you to channel your questions to your school subject coordinators and maybe they can forward those questions to our apps here in the division upang masagot po ang inyong mga tanong if you see to it na if you feel like your questions rather are very important at kailangan talagang sagutin. Okay. So, salamat po again, Doc Allen. Yes, Doc Allen, yes po. I-turn on nyo na lang po yung mic ninyo.
Okay.
Yan.
Thank you for giving me back the time. We would like to announce with Ma'am Marlene Publico, kasi malaking crowd na rin tayo, with the permission of our CID Chief Amogis, we would like to inform all English and Filipino teachers with ALS teachers, English, Filipino from kinder to grades 12, all English, Filipino, and ALS teachers from kinder to grade 12, please don't forget to join the 5-day literacy instruction training on July 27 to 31. Okay, so all in the regional memorandum, nakalimutan ko yung number, ipopost ko lang sa mga GCs namin. Na-release na ang regional memo at ang division memo calling all kinder grades 1 to 12, English, Filipino, and ALS mobile teachers to join the literacy instruction training on July 27 to 31. Please pakimark po ng red ang 5 araw na dates na yon. Thank you so much, Chief Edward and the host.
At this moment, we will present on screen the list of attendees from morning to afternoon session during the Day 1 District Echo on Training of Trainers on Learning Management System. So, tingnan niyo po kung isali ba ang inyong pangalan sa naka-attendance kahapon from morning until afternoon. Okay, that would be the list of attendees from morning to afternoon during the day one of District Echo on training of trainers on learning management system. So at this moment po, may I invite on screen our PSDS or Public Schools District Supervisor, Sir Justiniano Cobar.
Okay, good morning. Morning,
Hello.
Dan. Good morning. And to all
Good
the
morning.
PWG. Good morning, everyone. Specific school heads are still there, uh, viewing their respective uh, budget. No? So, thank you kay Dan sa hosting. Murag naalang natay diferensya gamay, no? Dugay ta nakasugod ganiha. Dugay ta nakasugod nga to Dan. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, na tayo problema no, ganyan buntag no?
Yes, sir.
Ano to?
Perhaps sa technical problem po sa internet connection, sir.
Ah, sige, sige. Pero na, kuan, okay lang gihapon, nahuman lang gihapon, no? Ang atong half day nga
Yes.
session. So, this morning, I monitored all the uh, viewers, the attendance. Kumusta karon na naghanap pa tag mga viewers?
Daghan-daghan na
Nagana?
80, sir.
Ay 80 na lang.
Yes, sir.
80%? 80% or 80 teachers? So, where are the
80 teachers, sir.
Oh, gamay ra kaayo.
Yes, sir. 80
So,
teachers.
useless at sabagay naka-attend naman ni sila mga senior, junior o senior high no ang uban. Pero sa dagko nga may eskwelahan wala gid ko ka-attend sila tanan. But I am sure in integrated schools, uh, all secondary teachers were attended during the division LMS webinar. Pero ang role nila karon is ano no, murag sila ang facilitator or appeal sila sa mga TWG. Okay? Wala na mga kwan, ano yung mga question? Can you
So far, sir, wala pa
mga
pong So far, sir, wala pa pong mga katanungan, sir.
sige. Wala katanungan dahil baka hindi nakinig o wala na sila sa o walang nagtatanong dahil open lang nila ang mga gadget nila then marami na silang ginagawa no maliban sa webinar.
So far, sir, the attendance 69.2% for elementary and 22.9% for the secondary, sir.
Wow, percentage there.
69.2% for elementary and 22.9% for the secondary po, sir.
Sige. So, wala namang mga question dan.
So far, sir, wala pa po nakita mga katanungan, sir. I guess, baka mamayang hapon, sir, meron na mga katanungan.
So, wala namang ano, kung sa oras sa taon niyang hapon dan.
We will, sir, resume our session 1 p.m., sir, exactly 1 p.m.
So, yesterday in the afternoon, I did not sorry, join the stream yard kay wala gyud ko na-accept. Wa ko sulod. Why ay iba ang link na iba ang link na ibinigay. Iba siguro ang link sa hapon.
Yes, sir. Iba ang link sa hapon, sir. Iba din po sa umaga, sir.
Ay, that's why sa ginamit kong link sa morning at sa afternoon the same. So pagkahapon wala ako nakapasok. So hindi ako naka-join sa discussion ninyo pagkahapon.
Okay lang po, sir.
Ay wala ako nakapasok. So as of now, ito lang muna siguro tayo. No?
Okay, sir.
Wala na siguro ibang ko.
I guess mga katanungan
thank
is
you.
mamayang hapon na, sir.
Salamat sa inyong lahat, mga TWG, especially to our school head, Ma'am Erlyn Maldo. Siya gyud ang nag-organize, no? Siya gyud ang nag-organize sa atong webinar karon. From Monday to Friday. Andyan pa ba si Ma'am Erlyn? So, may I request also all the school heads to join me during the open forum this afternoon
Yes, sir.
para masagot lahat, no? Pati yung mga local needs, mga teachers needs sa bawat paaralan natin, masagot nila. Kaya iba-iba ang sitwasyon natin bawat paaralan. So para masagot nila kung ano na ang paghahanda nila para sa pagbubukas ng ating school year 2021.
Okay, sir, may isang katanungan po,
Okay,
sir. May isang katanungan po, sir.
Oo. Yes.
Okay, coming from Ma'am Marjorie Orozco. Okay, how can we ensure quality education in the highlands and remote areas with IP learners whom their parents are also illiterate, can't read or can't write? From Ma'am Marjorie Orozco, how can we ensure quality education in the highlands and remote areas with IP learners whom their parents are also illiterate?
Okay, Marjorie, that's our challenges, no? Mga challenge na nato sa bawat paaralan. So, hanapan natin ng paraan, hanapan natin ng mga strategies kung ano ang dapat doon sa bawat paaralan natin, no? Especially sa saan ba ang paaralan mo, Orosyo? Marjorie ba yun? So,
Marjorie,
ano ba ang paaralan ang ito si Kwan? Marjorie?
Milyong, sir, from Milyong Elementary School.
Milyong. So, dahil sa sitwasyon natin doon na ang mga magulang ay hindi makabasa. So, pwede nating magagamit yung mga kapatid nilang makabasa. Yung mga high school, pwede nating magamit, no? Pwede natin sila. Dahil ang mga parents natin, ang mga magulang at mga purok leaders, hindi man lang makabasa. So, gagamitin natin yung mga matatandang mga high school. Magpatulong tayo sa kanila. So, bawat paaralan, mayroon tayong mga strategies na gagawin upang ma ma-achieve natin ang ating minimiting kalidad. Di ba, Dano?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, may isa pang katanungan, sir, coming from Ma'am Teresa Siniagan from Dato Jose A. Libayo Memorial National High School. Tanong ko lang po, sir, kung ang MELCS ba ay good for school year 2020-2021? Magagamit pa ba natin ito kung wala na ang pandemic? Salamat po.
Yes. Oo. So, all the time, magamit. Sa may pandemic, magagamit natin hanggang wala ng pandemic. So, mayroon namang preparation. Prepared na yan para sa pandemic hanggang wala na.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, wala na bang mga
Pwede makatulong ang asawa ko sa likuran ko.
Actually, Talaingod people, the milks has been designed only relative for this situation that we are here now in the new normal situation. Designed ito emergency designed for the new normal, but take note if you're going to analyze it, example on the Filipino curriculum. In the Filipino curriculum or Filipino learning area, before in the K to 12 curriculum, there are more than 2,000 learning competencies. So if I am not mistaken, it's 2,978 learning competencies in the whole package of the Filipino curriculum. And during 2019-2020 school year, there are only 1,780 learning competencies that is being used by the teachers. From time to time, there are adjustments that are being used or being done to cleanse the curriculum. But during this time for the MALC, there are only 790 learning competencies used for the Filipino. Why it became like this? Because we have to fit into the new normal. There are some merging that is being used. Di ba, before, problema ng mga teachers, unsa man uy, gabalik-balik lang man yung mga learning competencies. Human naman, unta ni nga naman po, balik naman po ni. This time around, there are cleansing of the learning competencies. So we have the milk intended for this new normal situation. But the question is, when are we going to end the new normal situation? Until Rabani this year, by next year, or 5 years? We just do not know. Take note, for example, our president has already made another pronouncement of MECQ for the Metro Manila area. Why? Because we are already second in the whole world now for the COVID-19. Dako na kaayo, more than 100,000 na 103,000, and we have so many deaths already. We just do not know. It's still advancing and advancing. Take note, for example, only Talaingod ang walay COVID in the whole Davao del Norte. That's good for you. But in Kapalong alone, karon na natay siyam in Kapalong. So meaning, what's the implication of that? It means na we are still forwarding and forwarding. So we just do not know what will happen. So as of now, we are adapting the milk for this school year, but we just do not know if this will continue by next year or many years to come. Yun po. As of that, sa karon pa lang, progressing man siya. So we are using that. Ang ano na lang nato is we will just cross the bridge when we are going to reach there. Yun po.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I would like also to acknowledge Ma'am Sarah Cubar, the PSDS of Kapalong West District. Ma'am, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning. We are done for our half day also for Kapalong West.
Sige, ma'am.
Lifeline dan. Walay distancing.
No distancing.
And sir, we have here a feedback coming from Ma'am Marjorie Orosio from her question while ago. We have heard a feedback from one of our parents saying na unsa man hinuon, kita man hinuon patudloon sa atong mga anak nga otro man pud tagtudloanan.
Sige.
Okay, sir. Ah, normal yun na siya na feedback, sir. Nga gani mga feedback sa uban mga parents na, unya, kami na dapat ang swelduhan, kaya kami na may motorlo sa among mga anak. No, that's a normal feedback. But, ang ato amang good is, education should start from home. Di ba? Dapat nakastart sa home. That's why dito na ay mga parents and teachers coordination para sa learning sa ato ang mga bata. But, to make a follow-up on that is that there are also parents that we need to understand na dili sila makatudlo sa ilang mga anak because sila po mismo tudloanan. And nakita na sa atong departamento. That's why 2 weeks ago, we were required to submit list or data relative to parents who could not, if there are families who could not really assist the learners in their homes. And that data will be the basis for the uh, pag-hire ng mga para-teachers. Ang mga para-teachers will come from the community. Muna siya karon ang plano ng departamento because whether we like it or not, kinahanglan yun ng assistance ang ato ang mga learners. So kung wala yung tao sa ilahang balay na maka-assist, the para-teachers will be able to assist them. Yun po.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the very comprehensive explanation, ma'am. Okay, so meron pa ba tayong katanungan? Wala na. I guess wala na po, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for your time and effort. As well as Ma'am Sarah Cobar, thank you so much, ma'am.
My lifeline.
Lifeline.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you so much, sir. At for the of everybody, since hindi po nakapagbigay ng recapitulation ang uh, nakapagbigay ng recapitulation kanina. So, later on this afternoon, we will have the recapitulations about what we had discussed during the day one of our webinar. So, at dito po nagtatapos ang ating talakayan sa umagang ito. I hope na may natutunan tayo sa lahat ng mga tinalakay. Thank you participants for still tuning in at this very moment. And we will continue our afternoon session at exactly 1 p.m. Thank you so much and have a happy lunch. Good day.